Yes. For all of our Oriental listeners, who you got? Where you at, John? I can hear you. Oh, you're on 2.
Only one turned down. Welcome to the show. That's Winners Take Y'all.
That's right. We got the whole gang is back. Nick, John, Kevin, and Jake, our man that handles everything on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Check all those channels out. Our Winners Take Y'all. Our Winners Take Y'all, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Follow us, subscribe, like. We give stuff away. We've even got a cool backdrop that's not on right now, but John is working on that because we are technically awesome. Hey, tonight's guests, settle down.
I'm the only one that's probably freaking this hard.
No, absolutely not. Not at all.
I'm kidding, but I got chills when you said it's lined up.
It's good. Well, we got a chance to break the ice at VMD. Brad Lackey was the Grand Marshal there, and he agreed. I don't know why, but we got Rick Smits on that week. That was our last show. I hope you guys listened to that one. That was pretty fun. Drive down.
It's unique.
It
man.
is, dude.
The dude, 12-year NBA career, says, "Nah, I would have picked motorcycles if I could have."
Big, ginormous man. Barely got in an RV. He was in both beds at the same time on either end of the RV.
So the top of my door came to the top of his stomach or right about his nipple line.
Sounds about right.
Homeboy had to crouch to get in and out of a fifth wheel.
Yeah, he sat in the little dinette, and his foot went across the hall, up into the sink and out the window.
Through the microwave.
And the starting line. Big cool guy though, man. He was super. Like at first, he was like, "Man, I don't know. I don't talk."
Yeah, he didn't think it was interesting.
Or I think he's just nervous about us and what we're going to say
and how he sounds.
Yeah, I felt like he was just bullshitting with us. He spent another 45 minutes out front bullshitting with us even more. So I feel like that was okay. Same with Brad. So at least
I got to feel like that. Rick Smits went back and checked us out a little bit before he came over.
He followed us on Instagram.
Yeah, they looked at that, and then he came over.
The funniest thing was at the very end, we're out in front of the camper, and Kevin goes, "Hey, Rick, what do you do if I just start coming in on you like this?" And Kevin sort of acting like he's
back him down.
Yeah, he's trying to back into him like he's dribbling a basketball.
Dude, he barely touched me.
And Rick just puts his hand on your shoulder, and he didn't extend all the way.
No, he almost threw me to the ground.
But it puts you like 3 counties over and on your face.
That's a 350-pound, 7'4" man that you don't know your strength, dude. You don't know.
And I could tell he just did it easy, but it was devastating to Kevin because his feet were in one place and his head went 3 counties over.
The one photo of you staring next to him,
I look like some injury. I got a neck. I've had neck injuries, so I look funny looking up. I'm like some lineman. Damn fuse not blowed out. I tell you right now, we're going to have to go back 2 poles. We're going to run that bucket truck over.
Think about this, though, man. That dude outweighs you by over 100 pounds. Right? Not to mention the leverage.
Shit, probably more 200 pounds.
Well, he's
160 pounds more than you.
350?
Yeah, and you're 200 pounds, say.
I'm 187, sir.
That's why.
Thank you.
So he outweighs you by 167 pounds.
Yeah, like I said, 160.
A damn adult.
So,
yeah,
but just
another adult.
That's like you pushing a 50-pound toddler.
You're right. You don't know your own strength.
I kept sitting there thinking, like, I can't even believe this guy's the same species as us.
Right. That's what Nick kept saying. He's like
so different.
His DNA chain is way different, man.
He is, man.
Way different. His kid's super tall, too.
So did you ever name who we have on the show?
Brad Lackey. Yeah. That's so.
Brad Lackey. So when we were at Mid-Ohio, I was at the camper, and Kevin goes, "Yeah, we got Brad Lackey standing here." And, man, if you could have seen me throwing shit down.
Oh, God.
And I come running out there.
This is so genuine. John he's not full of shit.
Dude, I come running out there, and I'm like, he goes, "Hey, man, how you doing?" Kevin goes, "This is my friend John." And he shakes my hand, and I'm a little too antsy, right? So he just walks off. He goes about 200 feet away.
As far away from you as he can.
But he's still within earshot. So Kevin grabs the mic and goes, "Hey, man, give me a Brad Lackey story to me." And so I tell one or two.
And this helps because it legitimizes, like, he knows you know what the hell you're talking
about.
about.
I see Brad standing out there, and he's got his back to me and Kevin, but we're talking on the PA, and I'm telling a story about him living in Czechoslovakia, and he turns around when the story's over, and he walks back over to me, shakes my hand again, and says, "You are a true fan."
See, that's awesome.
That was cool, man. And he doesn't realize, I send my brother a picture of me and him.
Yep.
And he goes, "Man, that dude was my hero. I love Brad Lackey." And
I know he gets probably almost calluses from that. You hear it all the time. But, dude, there is a time when that dude was the tip of the spear for American motocross. The best. Going to Europe. I told my buddy, because he was like, "So who do you got on?" He's a firefighter guy. I said, "Dude, it would be like some guy that plays in a Mexican football league said, I'm going to America. I'm playing NFL."
Yeah, there's no pathway.
And there's nowhere to go. He just went and did it. And this dude was going to Europe to race. They were light years ahead of us at that time.
And it took him 10 full
10
years
of not quitting. And he'll tell you other stories about just like, I want to know how hard it was from go to this country to that country to this country.
Yeah, crossing those borders.
The fuel, is it the same? You know,
machine guns, currency.
Carrying dirt bikes.
Currency is not the same.
Language alone.
And the maps. You better be a great map reader. Like there's so many things we take for granted with these damn phones and having an agent. This dude
just think about this.
Had a beard and a cowboy hat.
And
said,
some
let's
stickers
go.
to
when
get
you go
past
to
it.
another country and you like, if you go somewhere where they don't speak English, right? Like England, and you go like,
Exactly.
Yes, that's tricky.
I
Or
mean,
Alabama.
It's not easy to get food. It's not easy to,
And the
Or if you
food's
do,
weird.
what the hell is this? I thought I ordered this. It's
I
not
just
that.
remember John and I were in a breakfast place in England and we didn't know what to do. You know what I mean?
It was the weirdest.
We were just standing there
concoction.
looking at the food, looking at each other, looking at the menu, looking at the guy, looking at the food, looking at each other,
Let's
looking
go,
at the
mate.
menu.
Let's go. All right, people behind you.
Lots of beans, I see. Lots of beans. What's up with the beans for breakfast?
Yeah, just
They
everywhere.
eat beans in England, dog, for breakfast. It's weird. Lots
Like-
of countries do that.
Yeah, everybody but here. And their bacon is not really bacon.
No.
It's Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't call
They
it.
just get their own
Ham.
bacon.
They could call it ham.
It is just ham. Like there was a sign clearly on the breakfast little bar thing it said bacon.
Not really, but
And I'm
it's
standing there like, where's the bacon?
Where's the flipping bacon, bro?
Right there, mate. And I'm like, what
The fact that he did it, the fact that he stuck it out, it's incredible.
get your teeth kicked in.
And then he wins the world championship, and then doesn't have a ride for the next year.
Why?
What in the world?
I don't understand.
There's so much to this that it's like, you know, and when we said, hey, can you get on the show? Can you, whatever? And he's like, well, one story leads to another. I'll be on there for 5 hours. And I think that's what happens when you're an American hero. Everything you did is considered epic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an impressive guy. And
He
that's-
raced DeCoster at his height. He raced Hannah at his height. Heck, he raced Heike Mikkola and beat him at his height. I mean, dude,
Anybody
not many
say-
people say these kind of
Anybody can say they won motos against Hannah and DeCoster when they were at their prime is insane.
Yes. It's just like beating Jet Lawrence. There's no difference.
Yeah.
And if you say that you did it, it's pretty amazing. You're one of the few. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And when I talked to him at Mid-Ohio, I was kind of like, man, we could just pick one or two stories. But I hope he doesn't want to just pick one or two. I hope he wants to talk for an hour. Because he's the baddest dude of all time, in my opinion. He not only accomplished these things, he did it when there was zero pavement on the road to
how
do
to get
so.
there, and there was no blueprint. Like 10 years to sort all that junk out. I mean, me personally, like, it doesn't freak me out as much because I remember having a big ass map, and I could do it. Like, I go to Florida, I go whatever. But
Oh, yeah.
holy cow! Like, I just to try to make kids today, like even a 25-year-old understand. There was nobody in your ear go turn left in 200 meters. Like, there was none of that. Your career, suicide,
Dude, we had
turn
those
right.
gas stations and we sold, like we had a
Big ass Rand McNally's,
Yeah, big Rand McNally, a rack of maps.
and they sold.
Oh, and you sold
I
them?
had them in my truck
Every day.
for
Yeah.
every race we went to.
I was a map folding pro. Like
And
had
if
to
you can
get
do
good
that,
at it.
that's impressive,
That's
'cause I can never
It was
get
a
them
talent. Well, because you get good at folding the map because when you work at the gas station,
Everybody dumb.
everybody comes in and just wants to look at it. So then they unfold the fucking thing, and now
Then you gotta put it
You got to
back.
go back there and put it back,
That's
and
right.
it doesn't look right if it's not folded right back in the rack with the other maps. So you get really good at it.
Yeah, you can't just have a bunch of wadded up. They don't sell as well when they're just in a basket wadded up.
Yeah.
No, they're nice and clean and crisp. You can put them in your
In your
glove
glove
box. Do you
box?
own a map anymore? I had one up until probably 10 years ago. I used to keep one around.
I
But
don't think I do.
I used to have them in every
You got one?
truck, every
Oh,
work
no.
truck.
Yeah, I
Right.
had them.
For years, I hauled gravel with a dump truck, man.
Yeah.
Flip that thing open to the road. Oh, okay, I know that road,
Well,
road. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, you probably had the same one like you had in repo trucks, like a big book
Yeah, it was a book with
of
spiral,
Greater
metal
Atlanta. Yeah.
spiral on the left
And you
side.
would just flip through that book. and
We
you
had
go-
them
look
for
up
the-
the road name in the back.
for
and
the
get-
fire department, each station had a massive, I'm talking massive book for all, just Paulding County. It was this big, and it gave you directions from your fire station. You have to thumb through if I'm going to damn County Line Road, it would take me from my fire station turn by turn.
Oh, wow.
And I'd have to thumb to that road, and that's how we did it.
How many
not
lives have
10
been
years ago.
saved
10
just
years
because
ago.
you don't have to do that now?
Right.
Hey,
right.
my son's 26, man, and he won't go. He wouldn't come over here without putting in navigation. He could come over here 100 times. He's still putting into navigation before
Yeah.
he leaves.
A lot of people just drive like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it may reroute you. I kind of do it sometimes just to avoid traffic
hoping
and
traffic
shit. Going to the
updates.
airport, better do it. Like
Yeah.
that about got me last time. But speaking of going to the airport, I called Nick on the way. I had to readjust my flight. I went up to Day in the Dirt at Pittsburgh at High Point, which was awesome. That is, man, they've done a really good job picking certain destinations that are historical, that are, beautiful in that area. I mean, High Point this time
Heck,
of year.
Brad may have raced that one
It's been around since
the first year.
76 they've been racing.
Yeah.
So
He
why
might have
not?
been here. He might,
might have.
he would come back, especially in 76. You've seen that movie,
Yeah.
One Chance to
One
Win.
chance to win. Yep.
And that's about 1976. So he may have came home and ran the inaugural
Sure.
High Point.
So it was. You guys have done enough Day in the Dirt to know kind of the gist of it. They bring in all the badasses. This one, I was telling Nick, it was loaded up, which I haven't seen many of, with GNCC national champions like the elite.
wow.
Normally it's Marvin Muscan, Marchbanks, Josh Grant, but this one had
Marchbanks was there?
no. He was at 3 years ago Day in the Dirt.
Okay,
him
I'm
and
like,
Josh Grant.
what the-
But like Zach Osborne was there. Of course, Carson Brown, Ben Nelko. Ricky Russell, Stu Baylor. I'm talking about the four national
Yeah, the
GNCC
big
national
dudes.
champions, and to watch them go out on a motocross track and just terrorize.
They're just as good, right?
fucking A right they are, dude. They can go for hours. I'm talking about, Nick. You know how the last day runs? It's like there's a 30-minute race, then there's an hour-long team race, then there's a 75-minute one-man, which is enough for me.
Yeah.
And then the coup de grace goes back to back with that. And them dudes did it all, and they bled all over that racetrack and never stopped hauling ass. And Carson Brown is a freaking savage. He brought 5 bikes, and he absolutely mutilated the 78 Can-Am. Like, him and Randy were going at it. Randy had 100 more cc's, so he could outrun him on the straightaways. And you hear Carson just flying through the air, and when he would land, Randy said he could hear all the metal clanking around and just bouncing around. It made it through the first day, but day
Is that
two...
the Bombardier looking
Yes,
white
yes.
bike?
Yeah,
It's-
with the lights.
everyone talks about how great their engine was, but the bike looks so funky.
Yeah, it's a
Weird,
it's a street
long
bike looking,
tank- yes.
squishy seat, just the whole deal.
Yeah.
Says it turns. He goes, that thing turns like a dream,
Wow.
like out in the grass. That
never knew that.
They both love their old bikes in that tight grass. They have a big, huge grass section. Like a good mile of
Oh yeah,
grass.
so typically the lap times are 5 minutes or something.
That's exactly right.
So that's what they had down
100%.
there.
Yep.
Any pavement with a
No
radar
pave-
detector?
No pavement this time. They did have the last day during the coup de grace race. So the guys that lay out the GNCCs, Jared Bolton, he laid out an extra mile section that was burly. He goes, he tells you how to do it. He goes, you're going to drop down in the creek, and you're in a creek for 500 feet, and then back up and
In
out.
a creek for
Long
500
ways
feet.
with 1,000 other people.
And
You know,
they
it gets-
ran these vintage bikes.
whatever
through
you
that?
had, whatever you wanted to race. It was a special one-off. They called it the Blackwater Revival Race, so they gave you a Blackwater taste
So
of
that was a
Blackwater.
special class that.
No, it was the coup de grace, last race
Yeah.
of the day. And in addition to the track they ran all weekend, they threw in the Blackwater section, which is
On
cool.
the coup de grace
On the
only.
coup de grace, on the last gnarly ass.
Wow, that's
beat up
actually
day. It was cool,
rad.
man. They do a great job. That's the whole Racer Productions family. So you have Cotter there, and you have Carrie Joe and Rita there running around, and
Yeah,
all
Tim
their
Cotter's
staff.
been there since about day one, right? For
Yeah,
MX Sports.
yeah. And Megawatt said, he said, he's never missed a pro national there ever in the history since '76. He helped me announce, so it's cool to have his historical perspective on the race, and it's
On the hollowed grounds.
you got some of that when Tim
He
got on the
has
mic.
he has a good like,
Tim Cotter has that. A Chamber of Commerce.
that's what I'm
Day.
talking
Yes.
about. I'm talking about
the
Cotter.
hallowed grounds, the country club of motocross. That is High Point. Yeah,
he has these
is
special statements
the
that
Bob
actually
Costas
you
of-
can feel it, right?
Yeah, man, for sure. So
You can feel it. So that's
bitching
pretty
time.
epic. You got to be in the tower with him or
Oh, for
wherever
sure.
you were announcing from.
yeah, the beautiful tower. The facility is just this. You don't get an appreciation of the hills. The hills are
Steep.
freaking ginormous
Steep.
and rolly green, beautiful grass, and it's just dope, man. It's a different whole. It's totally different than Dade City, totally different than Glen Helen, and they're all bitching. There's one
Yeah.
guy that's trying to do all of them in 1 year, the trifecta. That's
pretty sweet.
Father son doing that, so that's cool.
Yeah, so it had the same vibe,
Yeah,
party atmosphere,
Live music at
all
night.
the fun stuff.
When is Glen Helen?
closest to the pin. Thanksgiving weekend. That's the OG one there. Thanksgiving weekend, right after Thanksgiving.
Is that not
Fridays.
Vet Worlds is right then too? Something?
That's always been on Thanksgiving. It's always Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's been for
Yeah.
almost
Well,
30
dude,
years.
so you're a fixture of Day in the Dirt, basically.
I've been,
at this
I
point.
mean, thankfully, yeah, I get to do all the ones on the East Coast, and I've done Glen Helen a couple times. But
Yeah,
they have those.
so-
They have their guys out there on that West Coast deal, and I don't want to go in and obviously.
well, ain't no way they're as good as you.
No, the West Coast guys ain't no good. Though.
Yeah,
Everything's moved to the southeast.
That's what I think, Kevin.
Stupid as hell, boy.
That's
You
what
hit
they
him
get out
hard,
there.
you blow the crank.
He thinks he's better than everybody.
That's exactly right.
So
Yeah, highly recommend it. Just like the other ones, dope. You get to ride a pro national, pristinely prepped. Dude, if they do such a good job, they prep it in between throughout the day, like multiple full preps.
That was going to be my question. So these GNCC guys are there. They would love it if it kept getting gnarlier, right? 'Cause
yeah,
it would
they-
separate them.
I think so, but I think fitness.
it's too
like,
dangerous, dude. It's like
Osborne, I don't think won one. If that gives you an idea.
Wow.
They
He's on the beta now?
Yeah,
Riding a beta?
national champion. Those fucking GNCC guys are burly,
That's wild, dude.
and they harass you. They will not ever let up.
well, you don't
ever,
think
ever,
about
ever.
it like
What's 90 minutes?
just
when
think
you're used to
25 years
getting warmed
ago,
up.
180.
people didn't consider wood guys to be fast on a motocross track.
Holy cow.
Hey, what was the
Now-
Cowie guy that came out? He was a GNCC guy. He raced Factory Cowie and did some nationals. Ricky.
Brubeck? No, that's California.
No, not Brayback.
Brave,
Ricky
yeah.
Russell did it.
No, I've got
Shane Watts did it with KTM for a minute.
Dude, you can picture this kid. Oh no, sorry guys. I'll look
it's
this
all
up.
good.
So
did he win? Was he a national
he was
champion?
like competitive. No, he didn't win a national.
I mean,
but-
John Matusak, JJ Matusak did.
No, this was
Not John, that's his dad. But
it was a Cowie guy, and he came out of nowhere. He was a GNCC guy.
Thor Powell
They
currently
put him
does
on
it,
the
and
bike
Thor is
for
like a top 3 guy at Loretta
6 rounds or something, and he immediately did well.
for outdoors.
Yeah, just
Okay.
out. It was years ago, man.
Well, you got to think too.
Somebody's
your fitness-
screaming at us right now. Going, you don't know
I
who
know.
that is.
And I can tell you from like when we first went to Day in the Dirt and that stuff, because I've been riding off road. Like the first year we went, I think, or the first year they
COVID 20.
after that, the next year when they actually had it,
Yep.
I had been raced. Like I raced the GNCC at Big Buck, and then on Thursday raced the
Oh, that's right.
the
This dude it's got some laps in, dude.
the Alligator Enduro, and then Friday went to Day in the Dirt.
Dude, I would still be in ICU.
But I got to tell you though, from doing like 8-hour
Alligator's
enduro,
gnarly.
oh yeah, it was an 8-hour deal. You ride an 8-hour there, and it was 2.5 hours at the
That's back when
Big
enduros were
Buck.
105 miles or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then
Transcontinental.
but going
Enduros.
going to ride a 30-minute moto was nothing.
Nothing.
And it's
because
not
your brain's trained for
physically.
This.
It was the same, but mentally it was not. You know
Yeah,
what I
so
mean?
those guys have no reason to hold back. They're used to this.
Yeah.
yeah, just their you know, I mean, it's their mindset.
I will say that Carson Brown had a lap time. He physically had a lap time that he could turn on 4 different motorcycles, which is
Oh,
mind-boggling.
so he could get to that lap time
And
regardless
stay
of
on
the
a
machine.
1990 YZ250, which he had, a 93 CR250, which he had, and then he had a Super Mini, which was just a tad off that lap time, and then he had his brand new YZ250. All 4 of those, he rode nothing but 252 strokes, and he was right on top of all the GNCC dudes.
You
All
know,
of
the
them.
crazy thing is,
Gnarly.
the only reason he wasn't in the Super Mini was it was big hills.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like if it had been a flatter track,
Yeah,
he
the
probably
turn
could-
track, he probably rips on that thing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He probably, you know, just there's a lot of big hills there. That, you know, elevation change.
And there's so many stories, like you guys can speak to it. Like my buddy Jackson Burrell that helps us at Loretta's. He was racing. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm just riding right there," and some guy flies off. He's flying through the air and grabs a tree and hugs a tree. And I go, "You all right?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like that's.
But I
happening-
don't know that
that's
they're
happening
just-
every 5 minutes out there.
I don't think that's like gentle
no
when you go hug a tree.
It's not. But that's just how burly
Ricky
those races
Dietrich.
are. That shit's happening.
Ricky
Ricky
Dietrich.
Dietrich. You're right.
Jesus, man.
Feel good about it.
Yeah, he got like 5th or something. But
Damn.
that just made me think of that. Like
Yeah.
you're talking about these GNCC guys and how they might do it at a national track, and it was relentless there. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
those SLR Honda guys at Mammoth, hell, they're winning vet classes. They're just burly. Like,
yeah, it's awesome. Really awesome.
Remember when Shane Watts did it too? Remember that
Yep.
like for 2 years, Shane Watts was lightning
Is
on
he, what country
everything.
is he from?
Australia.
He's Australian. So he was known for like eating out of a hubcap and stuff. Like he did everything as if he had zero money.
Yeah. Slept
then-
in the like back seat of a car.
Just whatever. Didn't care. Sleep on the ground if he had to. Just whatever. And then on race day, you know, most people would be hurting if he ate out of a hubcap and slept on the ground. This dude go win.
I think one year he won a GNCC. He won a race every bike
yes,
that
correct.
KTM
yeah,
sold.
He on a 200,
Oh,
a 125, all
I
the
do
stuff.
remember this.
Yeah, he
He
rode
rode a
all the shit.
125, a 200, a
Carson
250,
Brown.
a
But
300.
did he win the championship?
Yes.
So what in the world would be your motivation? Obviously, he feels like he's way better than everybody if he can just
Like Sean
And I
Palmer.
will say this though, some of those tracks support different motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know, so like there are certain
What
machines.
are you saying, Jake?
Yeah, Jake, just
Oh,
thanks. He's better than everybody.
And everybody.
dang it, dog. Thank
what-
you. Sorry, bro. You
That
need to
is
be on this.
That is why he wins, because he thinks he's
But
better than everybody.
You know what though? I think when
Stupid as hell, boy.
he did that, it was toward the end of the year, and he wasn't really picking. Like
so you don't think it was course
I'd
specific?
have to see, but I think he kind of just went in order. Like he went from his
I don't remember.
250 to a 200.
Travis rode a
to
DRZ to a race, raced it, and went home too.
in Florida, right?
I don't know. I thought it was Bud's Creek or something. He rode
Dude,
from his house.
there's a local guy that raced hare scrambles and enduros for years, and he kept a 125, a 250, and like a 300. And this was gas when they were Spanish, so they were yellow and red, and they had all these colors for each size machine. But he's like, I'm riding the 125 this weekend. It's more of a course where I can just leave it in third and let it scream through there, and then, you know, it might be some track with or course with downhill, uphill, down. So he wanted more
Must
torque.
be nice just to have multiple
Just
motorcycles.
get all
Stupid
your
as
stuff.
hell, boy.
It's just one of those
I just don't
one
know.
of those things. I'd never seen someone switch machines like that.
Well, I mean, Carson Brown is the absolute guru at it. He has taken whatever those guys have done before, and he is just dazzling on one of those motorcycles.
He
And
hauls ass,
He
too.
did this Stark backwards race. Like they had the Starks, and they had all these people involved, like all these X Games guys that were there, X Games Gold. They had 4 or 5 X Games Gold guys there, and they brought these Starks out, and they said, "You're going to race them backwards. You got to go like 200 feet, stand on that motorcycle correctly, and go backwards." And this dude don't do that. He did it last year.
Stand
It
on
was
it
not
correctly.
They have
And-
reverse.
They have reverse, and he got on
So
that
someone
thing.
could actually ride it.
Dab your foot going backwards.
Oh yeah, you're
Like when you dab
you're
it
falling.
going forward, your knee moves that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, don't backwards.
They weren't going. They were literally going.
So, you know
2
who would be
miles.
good
Shut
at
up,
that?
Kevin. It's dangerous.
It is
Freaking
dangerous.
Crew
Sorry.
Jones.
2 mile an hour collarbone.
Crew Jones.
True story.
One
That-
time he did an endo and he
a good
could just
point.
roll backwards forever.
BMX dudes have always been able to do
Yeah.
that.
So I think
Good
if,
point.
if you sign up Crew Jones,
He would do it.
yeah,
Good call.
well,
If you get
Hell
Crew Jones.
Track,
Yeah, hell yeah.
and you were near Canada, being
Somebody
in PA.
look up Crew and see if we can get him to the next day.
Hey,
in
you
the
remember
dirt.
how I was asking for the best wheelie at Dade City? I'm like, please, somebody wheelie.
And it was me.
Well, it was you. It was Nick. I think
It was not me.
No, it was not you.
Ask
But you did a
dang
few.
Cliff Amata.
I did a
He'll tell
few.
you.
But I've seen your
I
video.
did
That's right.
wheelie every time. I look over at Kevin, pop a wheelie. But
Well,
they
we
were just-
finally got it. Like people were doing it, and then they heard about it, and then Preston, who does all the metal fabrication,
He calls Democus.
well, he was over there, and Tyler Berriman and a Red Bull truck driver, Serge something Quintino or something. They worked for 3 hours and
Serge.
built this ginormous popping a wheelie thing, and we gave it away for the best wheelie. And
oh, so
so it's a
people
thing
were,
now. They were doing it
when they would come to the start straight, they'd
during
wheelie
the
up.
race. They'd be standing up and doing all kind of shit, standing on the seat doing wheelies. So
Do you remember who won it? You don't remember.
It was the X Games guy. It was Yo. His name. He goes
Now
by
we
Yo.
got to start practicing for something else
Exactly.
for next year.
Another award, dude. That's a dope award, dude.
I've
This
got
thing
a
was-
trainer. I already have a guy that'll train me. He's in Colorado.
Oh, Cliff will do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Cliff
he's
will do it.
Okay.
big into teaching people how to wheelie.
You know,
He was angry about my wheelie. I'm fifth gear on the 501, mild cam, wrong gearing.
Mild cam. Yeah,
At-
throw that in.
Well, God, on a
9,000
450, it's at least got horsepower,
Yeah,
and I
but-
can bop. You know, I
let me
can-
tell you something.
Do what?
We have a picture of me wheeling in Colorado,
That was actually a good picture.
and I think you took it.
Yeah, that was a freaking good one.
He thinks he's better than everybody.
See, that's
But
Nick right there.
that's the only time, like the time when he wants you to wheelie going down the road, you're 9,000 feet on a
And going 45 miles. an hour.
202 stroke.
I
it's
get
got
it.
enough power like to cut the
It don't
grass.
normally-
But guess
Like,
what?
like
It's
we would always be out there. I would try everything I could to get that bike to stand
still
up.
get to bust your
It
balls.
did it at 10,000
Nothing.
feet, though.
Yeah,
we
that
were
wasn't
high
good.
that day on the
In
elevation,
altitude.
not high.
Yes, altitude.
We're athletes.
We're high on life.
Yes.
That's right.
We're athletes.
What's
bro.
Colorado? We could get high.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't.
Me either.
I don't do it.
Just,
He thinks he's better than everybody.
but I'll do a little toot.
I do a
I'm
little,
not that high,
but
but I
I
do a
will
little
not
knot.
do freebase cocaine.
But
I mean, I do a little tequila on Saturday night, just a little bit here and there right there, but I will not. Have you seen that?
I will do. Well, I might freebase cocaine just a little bit.
I like the way he talks. I do a little bit here and there,
That guy could sell the heck out of a Ford LTD.
Dude,
You
Cocaine's a hell of a
picture him
drug.
driving an LTD. You
I
know
put
it was
you in
brown.
this one here.
It was brown with a burgundy interior.
One on a cream puff.
Two-
Only
Two-tone.
driven downhill. Yeah, that's
Two-tone
exactly.
brown. It's got a brown, dark brown, brown.
So, Kevin, there's never a chance that you might sign up for one of these Day in the Dirt events, the goof-off ones.
I got to. I want to, right? I was
You
thinking
should
about
just
that.
go
I
around the
need to
track.
do it.
Day in the Dirt's about the simplest thing until you get in the back.
Well, I will say this.
Then
Like
it's
that,
you're not your friend.
this one is not as burly. I will say Dade City is absolutely
Because of the sand?
the sand, dude.
Yeah.
This one's choppy and different, and you can avoid some of it. They give you some room. Those like, the grass got choppy, but they were talking about how you could swing wide and just hit a little bit of chop and swing, to the other side of the apex.
Yeah, sort of
whatever,
miss it or whatever.
Yeah, man. Dade City, I've seen those videos. I will
It's
say,
all white and loose. It's like there's no...
Dade City is like the most fun, miserable thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
Like when you go back there, you're like, this shit is hard.
And Nick knows about the suffer.
you're like,
that's cool.
that's fun.
awesome.
That was so much fun. Then, but while you're in it,
I'm glad it's
you're
over.
like,
Or when you're
"Damn,
at
I
the
can't
gas
turn,
station."
I can't stop, I can't go.
Look like zombies.
Yes.
Dude, watching them, I swear, both of you guys, Nick specifically, after Dade City, 2 years ago, after he rode 5,000 miles, he got
Minimum.
out of that truck. It was 4 inches shorter because he was like, "Ugh." I mean, I was like, is this for real? Like, he was.
You could just
genuinely
see the
hurt.
arthritis flaking off
It took me
as his
a
joints
sol-
started
Like
moving.
I got loosened up right before we got back in the truck.
Y'all had one of those little guns that they were
Yeah,
hammering each other.
Theragun.
Y'all were doing that while we're going.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm locking up, give me the gun. We're passing that thing.
One of those little
exit,
Japanese,
John. I can't turn.
We had a little Japanese massager in there.
Little
Yeah.
lady.
I can't remember her name.
Her name was.
Yo.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kidding.
And one last thing on Day in the Dirt, they had not a best whip, but just a whip demo. And Patrick, so the finish line jumps a triple. You jump
Yeah.
the triple, hang a hard left, and you're done. Like
Yep.
you land, you barely make the turn. And they were doing it over and over. I'm like, what is Patrick Evans doing? He kept just dead sailoring it. I'm like, what? And then the
Don't
last
tell me.
time,
I already know
homeboy
it.
backflips the finish line
Oh,
jump.
I didn't think you'd say
And I'm
that.
like,
Backflip the
what?
triple?
The triple uphill with no pop to it. There's no pop. Like there's no brop.
Ugh.
I mean, Travis probably would have. I mean, it was still.
Yeah, Travis
He
would
was super
do a speed
emotional
breaker.
about it. Like it's like he may as well jump 200 feet. Like he was freaked out a little bit about it.
Because it wasn't the right jump to do.
No, not at all. And then the cool part is on practice, the night before, he was telling Robbie Wageman, he was that Carmichael catapult. He was first lap of practice. I'm fucking sending it. And that thing is a blind jump. You're shooting
It's
to the
slightly
right,
turning.
and it makes a big left. So you got to go right side, jump off the track essentially from right to left to make the turn, to make the whatever. And dude, he comes around in practice, just whooped over, jumps the piss out of it, and he was super stoked that he jumped that. He goes, dude, I made a $1 bet and it about cost me
Yeah.
$1,000
Femurs
deductible.
and
Yeah, dude,
everything else.
That's just the essence of that race. You're talking shit, you're drinking a beer,
Hey.
telling your boy you're going to launch this thing, and
I love that they're talking about that, and I was chicken shit to go 2 mile an hour backwards on a Stark.
Dude, I would have been scared of that too.
that would have tripped me out too.
When you fall, you're getting whiplash because your head's going back.
And nobody fell. So just so you know, nobody
Okay.
fell. They were always literally going just barely enough to balance. So.
Remember the penalty for Magoo riding the track backwards, and he stopped at the finish line, got on the
And rode it
motorcycle
backwards.
and rode it
I
across the
guarantee
finish
you,
line.
those guys are good enough. They can put them
Pretty
in reverse.
sweet.
They could probably run a lap on the motocross track facing backwards like Magoo.
Oh, doing it that way.
I mean,
yeah.
If Carson Brown actually practiced it, like he just did it.
He probably jumped doubles and stuff backwards, sitting on.
If he does that, I'm out, dude. On an old vintage bike
Oh, on a Can-Am.
that you crank up,
the
put it
Bombardier.
put the gear shift in, but
I
whatever.
can tell you this:
it's flopping around as you rev it.
I went to what's the God? I'm drawing a blank.
DC.
No, the
Boston.
The guy that does
Lithuania.
the lessons. What's his name?
Gary Bailey.
You went to a school.
Now that's on Instagram. all the
930.
time.
Oh, Catanzaro. AJ
Yeah,
Catanzaro.
I went to AJ Catanzaro's when I failed his school.
It's probably Catanzaro, but
Yeah.
where's Zero? We
Zero.
like Cairo, Georgia.
Zero and
I got an
Zero.
F in that, by the way. And but we were at Scrubbing Dirt, and that dude, they're doing the one hand drill where they teach you to ride one. He jumped everything out there
That's.
That's because he's holding on with his legs.
one handed, just like it was nothing. We're up.
I still need to hold on to everything I can hold on to, dude.
I know we need Velcro and some other things.
Yes, yeah, they
If
just strap
Kevin's
me
gonna
on
bust a
like
lap,
a bull. I need my hands tied.
Velcro. Yeah.
Going down like clipped in. You
Nick's
put your
got
arms
that
in.
rope wrapped around his arm. He's shaking.
Let's
his
go,
head.
brother. Let's go. Let's go.
Start doing your head real fast when it's time to open
Why
that
do they
gate.
all do that? You ever notice that?
I think they're regretting their decision.
Oh shit! I want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I
You gotta
don't.
talk
I better
himself
talk
into it.
Yeah, you're questioning your life choices. That's why your head's.
Yes, it's
That
trying
dude-
to say no.
When that
and you-
dude cinches down that one last time, you're kind of that bull's like, oh,
And
fuck
dude, they
you up.
beat
He's like,
that.
oh, fuck you
They
up.
beat that rope back down
Yes.
onto their hand, and
Question
He's
for,
like,
the most cowboy of us, which one of y'all that is.
Not me.
Do you use your dominant hand or like your left hand? Like I feel like
I got to go left.
I feel like I would be more comfortable with my left hand.
Yeah.
But I bet you use your dominant.
God, I'm so much weaker on my left side.
Well, obviously.
But
Just because.
so what do they do? What do cowboys do? Do they use their dominant hand or the other hand?
Here's a great question. That's
Like
a great
I
question
lead-
for Brad Lackey.
I lead like that's your jab hand. Like you lead with your, you know what I mean? You got a
pop.
left jab.
Pop, pop.
But
So you would hold on with your left.
Like when you,
I feel like I would be more comfortable holding on my left.
that's the way, naturally, that's the first thing I gravitate to.
Yeah. But I'm right-handed.
Well, let's go get you on one of the mechanical bulls and we'll sort this out. We'll get a
I've ridden
video.
a mechanical bull and I don't remember which hand I used.
Both of them.
It was in the 80s in Texas with John Travolta.
yeah. That's what I feel like. This
Hey!
is Nick's rodeo music. Right here.
Let's go. Let's get Nick Blackman down there on the starting line. Here we go. Here we go. Nick Blackman, you ready, son? Let's go. Let's give him 8 seconds. Give him hell, son.
That's exactly right.
I don't know which hand.
America's favorite cowboy. That's Chris
There's
Ledee.
another thing. Somebody out there is yelling, going, God damn it, you use your
Idiot.
dominant hand.
Right. I'm sure.
What kind of a moron and hold on with his non-dominant hand? Nick's like, I want my good hand flapping in the breeze.
All right, listen to this. Listen to this.
Like
If
chunk
Hughes
deuce.
is going to pick your favorite direction to hit your favorite curve, which direction? You're right-handed. I want to go left every damn time.
Yeah, I want to go left.
Is, is there something to that? Just cause the break?
Yeah, because
Maybe that's why, because I think that bull's going to go left.
You got a left-handed brake on that
That's
son
right.
of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if that matters if the bull kicks left or right. Would it be better to? I mean,
You need to know if he's a left-handed
you got to
bull.
onside.
You got to
and
watch
offside.
video on your bulls.
You got to
Yeah.
check your bull.
I'm gonna start watching bull videos.
Yep.
He's a left-handed bull. He pulls to the left.
But
Yeah.
I'm right foot dominant, but I'm left foot. Everybody's left foot forward. Like if you ski.
I skateboard right.
Yes,
I'm
there's an
goofy-footed.
onside and an offside.
Yes.
Goofy foot.
You're goofy footed?
Yes. Shoot, pull, left-handed.
God, it's a pain in the ass.
Shoot, pull, guns, and skateboard left-handed.
Going surfing in the boat is a pain in the ass for somebody's goofy footed because
That's
you have
dumb.
to set the boat up for the other side.
You don't have to worry about that.
And my guy that I go with, Lee, that I go with all the time, he's goofy footed. So we have
Goofy-footed
to,
son of a
every
bitch.
time we switch, we have to.
It's
Yeah,
not a
I'm
slur.
right foot
You
forward.
goofy-footed son of a.
Yeah, arrogant.
But I
arrogant,
guarantee you-
ignorant. That's arrogant.
Stupid as hell,
I
boy.
guarantee you,
arrogant and
John,
ignorant.
from skiing or wakeboarding, whatever, your
Stuff on
balance is
things.
way better with your left foot.
Well, it might be, but I can ride either foot forward. But I prefer
Stuff
right.
on things.
That's what I thought you were going to say when the dude sent them.
Stuff
Said
on
we got a
things.
special section down here on the coup de
You come
grace."
down the left on the back there at Coup de Grace,
Stuff on things.
and you turn left after that turn. Now there's a rock down there.
Stuff on things.
And that's your pro
And then
section.
look out. There's a down arrow to the left or the right. That indicates you going left or right. Down, slow down.
And if it's angled,
Stuff on things.
Turn left and the right.
nailed it, Kevin. That's exactly how it is.
Yes.
7 to 10 of those per meeting, per
Stuff
speech.
on things.
So if you don't know the joke about that,
When
give
we
him-
go to that, and he just kicks your ass next
I
time.
know. I'm always freaking out. Like we say these things and we think it's hilarious. Eventually, there's gonna be like, "Hey,
But this-
dude, stuff on things. I'm gonna kill you."
this guy does a. Have you heard this? This guy does a writers meeting, and his nervous tick, instead of just like taking a breath, and going, he goes, and then when you come around a turn and
Stuff on things.
there's there's a house over. I think it's a
Stuff on things.
red one, I believe, and
Stuff on things.
Not it. Kevin is nailing it.
You
right
know when
now.
you have a tick, people, everybody says like. I just did it 14
or,
times.
like,
Because I had a teacher blast me for doing
Yeah, they
one
hate
time.
that, dude.
I mean, she embarrassed me in front of the whole class about It drives me crazy when I hear somebody do it.
the
So you
stuff
take
on
it over.
things though.
man, that's
as soon
awesome.
as the guy
Please
started
don't stop
talking,
doing that, sir.
as soon as the guy started talking, Nick turned around and goes, "Count these."
Stuff on things.
And
I
I'm back to-
identified it pretty quickly.
yeah,
Stuff on things.
I mean, it was the second one.
Yeah, the second one I
Count
identified because I was like,
Did you know what he was saying initially?
No.
We like
the first one I didn't, and then after when he did it again, I guess because
He also says stuff on it.
my thing where it,
Yeah.
drives me crazy. I immediately picked up on it, and I was like, his conversation filler.
That's his
was stuff on things.
Or
so when he's
like-
making love, man. If you don't mind, just
Stuff on things.
rolling over, maybe.
It's just
if you-
over and over. Step
Stuff
on
on
things.
things.
Step
You
on
like-
things. Step on things.
Stuff on things. Stuff on
I mean,
things.
this guy's going to beat the shit out of us when we see him.
100%.
Somehow this is going to get to this guy.
He's got old man strength too, so
I
I'm
know.
already.
What's
been
the name of
losing.
the erase? We need to
We're
say
not
it.
saying
Oh, you
I'm
about
scared.
said it.
I think I can say it. It's the Perry Mountain
banana pudding national.
Tower Run.
Some
Cherry
banana
Mountain.
things.
Banana pudding nationals.
It is, dude. Nick ate more. Nick is definitely the champ.
They had a whole kiddie pool full of banana pudding.
Who makes kiddie pulling and banana?
Why you gonna do
If you're,
that?
hey, if you're not going
Who
to wrestle in the
what
shit,
did I just say?
I was.
Who makes kiddie pulling and banana pudding?
Yeah.
Who makes banana
Who
pudding and
makes
kiddie
a
pudding?
home mama dog face
We
and a
knew what
banana
you were
pad?
Issues, son.
I was so fired up at first because I thought they're going to have freaking banana pudding girl wrestling.
Because he saw it. He
And
thought,
then-
man, they're definitely wrestling in that.
Turns out,
I like girls and banana pudding.
Turns out I'm going to eat it all.
That's exactly. And then they won't have nothing to wrestle
And
in.
nothing left. That's what later the guy kept feeding it to me. And later the girls showed up in bikinis and were like, "What the hell? We supposed to
And
wrestle
the
in
dude
now?"
got up there and did like a real emotional speech, and he goes, "Could you help a girl find
Stuff on things.
some banana pudding to wrestle in?" And then the dude in the back's like,
Stuff on
"I
things.
will remember," and it was real moving because they didn't have any nanner pudding to wrestle in. It's probably the saddest thing I ever seen down there.
I like when John slowly drifts off into his country boy. They didn't have no banana pudding. That's the saddest thing I ever seen.
They turned it
was
into
terrible.
They wound up just doing it
terrible.
a barbecue.
Yeah, they just
Oh.
barbecue.
A
wrestling.
hot fingered.
Sort of looked like they were bleeding pretty bad.
Oh.
Like we couldn't tell if they were injured.
Is she
or
hurt?
not.
She's screaming.
She's got to be.
She got meat coming out there. Chop
Meat's leaking out her arm. Meat.
I think her bikini slit. Nope. That's just barbecue.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, John, I'm going to let you properly intro Brad Lackey.
How can I? You're the voice of American
No, sir.
motocross.
You got this. You got all the stats. So we're going to call Mr. Brad Lackey right here.
Don't call him yet. Who said? Why would I said this needs to be Kevin's voice for the proper intro?
Well, I mean, we're kind of doing this live on the air. If he
Okay.
hears this, he's going to be disappointed in me.
He's not. How could he be disappointed in you?
The 1997 Super. No, he's
No,
not.
none
See,
of that.
that's what I would do. I'd mess it up. So,
All right,
try to
so-
set us up for success, bro.
Man, I am good at talking. Like I can talk all day, but
You could pretty clearly.
yeah, normally y'all don't tell me what
What
to
year
say.
did he win his championship?
Well, he was 72, I believe. He was listed as top American. And Gary Jones was 73, I think. And then, so a full 10 years later,
82.
82 is his world championship.
So people we're pulling the curtain back. You're actually getting to hear how we're going to intro this guy. You want me to do it? I'll do it. Whatever. I mean,
Okay.
it's going to be short. You got this, Johnny.
No, I don't need it, but let me
got
just
it.
say.
Come on, John. You got to lay it down.
All right, so
Introducing the 72 top American.
How about this? How about we call Brad, and then you just go, I'm going to welcome on the show.
okay.
There we go.
God, I'm just so nervous.
I'm glad we don't have any fireball
So
tonight. John be
nervous.
talking up a blue streak, son.
We do have Fireball. That big old bottle you bought's upstairs.
Where?
It's in the freezer upstairs.
Shit. Yes.
Do it. You need it. John
The
needs
bottom
Here we go.
drawer of the big fridge.
We're going live.
Okay.
Yeah, though.
Welcome to the show, Brad Lackey, America's 1972 Trans AMA champ. Am I correct on the year? 1972.
72, yeah, AMA 500 national champion.
There we go. Okay, even better. That sounds way better. And then 1982 500cc world champion, Brad Lackey.
Correctamundo.
Thank you for the
All right.
time.
Thanks for being on, Brad.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good
All
evening,
right.
sir.
Appreciate it. See you later.
No, I'm just kidding. He's like, what? That's it?
That's all they wanted.
So
We had two questions.
hopefully that gives you an idea that we are going to be kind of silly. We don't take ourselves seriously, but we do take what you did seriously. And John is
100%.
a massive, massive fan and a student of the sport. So welcome to the show.
Cool.
I know you've never heard of us, never seen us until VMD, but we are stoked that you took a little bit of your time out to hang out with us and just go old school, man. You got the beard. Have you ever been without a beard, or a mustache? First things first.
I don't know. I can't really remember without either of those.
Whoa. So maybe high school? Did you have a mustache in high school?
Probably not.
All right.
Yeah, when I was 15, 16, I don't think I had a beard going, but mustache probably came right in there around 17, 18 or so.
It was just the time.
Kevin's saying that now.
Popular.
I'm picking your fifth grade class picture, and there's one kid standing on the end with a full beard and a mustache.
That was Brad
That's
Lackey.
Brad
And he
Lackey.
had a cowboy hat. They let him wear a cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat, beard, mustache, fifth grade. They're like, We know he's going to be a badass.
Just let him do it, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Cigarette, dating the teacher.
Wow. Whoa.
Over in Europe, it was good for knocking off the rocks when they hit you. You know, you got a little padding on the chin.
Dude, and there is no doubt that you guys faced some roost without much protection.
Yeah, but you lived in a time when they really prepped the tracks beautifully and it was not dusty and it was super loamy, right?
yeah. They never saw a tractor. They didn't even know what that was.
Hey, Barry Higgins told us a story one time of some race overseas, and it was so steep and had so many problems with it that they just backed a concrete truck up there and just dumped it over the edge and said, okay, we'll just use concrete. That way we don't have to fix it anymore.
Yeah, at Namur, they used asphalt on that section.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. I mean, there is no doubt that Brad Lackey, like, you could just ride any surface, obviously, and go fast on it too. 'Cause you also faced Carlsbad.
Yeah, no, you know, I have my favorites. You know, I know when I get to a track that I can go way faster on than most of the guys, but then I know the tracks that I'm not that good on, and they're better than me. And you know, like hard surfaces like Carlsbad is what I hate the most. So that's why I, you know, always had some issues there. You know, I finished second, tied for the win a couple times, got second 2 or 3 times, but never really actually won the race. So hard pack is my Achilles heel, and it's just you know, I grew up not on that. I grew up in Northern California in the mud and the grass and the rain, and you know, I had to go to LA to, you know, ride some races, but it wasn't terribly hard back then in the 70s. But then by the time you get to Carlsbad, it was beat to death for years and years and years, you know. Yeah,
there were so many things. I told you at Mid-Ohio we wouldn't keep you on for 100 years, but you obviously laid down the how-to book. There was no book at all, and you paved like a way. So one of the things we had on here, like you're saying, you weren't that good on hard pack. We had 1980 at Carlsbad, that USGP, the day that Marty Moats won. I think you were on the factory Kawasaki, if I remember right, and you crashed or went under a fence or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
day?
down at the bottom of the downhill. You know, it's just hard rock, off cambered, and like I said, really slick. And there's a little tiny 1 or 2 inch groove, baby berm. Basically, if you caught that, you could make the turn. And I went over it, and then it was just marbles, and it slid. And it was, like I said, downhill and off cambered, and just slid me all the way down into, kind of slid under a fence they had there, and kind of got stuck.
Yeah, for sure.
So you know, one of those brain fade moments, and cost me. Well, Marty was on fire that day. He would have won, you know, because he won the first moto, and I think that was the second moto. And I passed him. He passed me back. We did a couple little things, and then that happened. So you know, I would have got second probably. I don't know what I got that day, but
Jim Lampley.
You know, I was chasing GP points, so it was very important, you know, to get the points because. Because Malherbe and I were going down neck and neck after that to the championship, down to the last race, and you know, every point counts, and so that was that one cost me quite a bit
for sure.
Hey Brad, can you speak to the validation that you must have gotten because you went overseas and then you came back to race a GP here, and then to come in and kind of beat some of our guys? That had to feel good. Like, yeah, man, I'm as you guys should have hired me. I shouldn't be overseas, but it worked out for you in the long run. But damn, dude, you're good enough to compete with our guys and their guys.
Yeah, I came back, you know, after I won the championship in 72, I won it by the most points ever. I think I got, you know, I won every race I rode, actually. And I think I got second on one. I think Tripes beat me at Saddleback, you know, another hard pack deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then I was in Europe from 83. We did the Motocross of the Nations in actually 72, Pomeroy, Gary Jones and I in Holland. And then 73, I don't know why they didn't put me on the team. And then 74, we were on the Motocross of the Nations, Pomeroy, me, DeStefano, and I think Howerton. And we got second that year. And, you know, in 74,
that is amazing.
You know, it's not 81 when they won finally, but yeah, in 74 to get second against the Swedes on their home track, you know, that was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, you had Ben Alberg, world champ, he ballisted both motos on a 370 Bull Taco and beat everybody on this. It's the Husqvarna training track where they grew up and practiced their whole lives. So they were good there, obviously. But we got second, and that was pretty damn good. And then I think we got third in the Trophy of the Nations that year or the next year. And then I came home, actually, and rode. In 75, there was only five 500 national championship races, and I was in Europe for the first two, so I couldn't come to them. And I came home, and if I rode the third, fourth, and fifth one, and if I won, I would have been national champion in 75. And actually, I won the first race, and I won a moto and in first moto in the second race, and then I got a flat tire on a hard packed Ohio track, and Cosmakers ran into me and broke my shifter off my bike, and so then I had a flat and I couldn't shift, so I didn't win. I got second. I think I got a first and a fourth, or a first and a third or something. So I thought that was probably going to wreck my chances for being national champ again. And then we went down to the last race in New Orleans, and I won a moto, and then my bike broke, and it cost me being national champion. Just in 75, I could have come back and won, but it, just didn't work out.
Yeah, you still won several races for sure.
Yeah, it was, it was good. The guys are fast, but I could beat them. I had a really nice Husky, and it was real fast. It passed Pierre's Honda factory bike down the straightaway with ease,
You were number 25, I think, American flag jersey.
Yeah.
Super cool. That was a really clean looking Husky. Do you ever see this bike?
No, I can't.
He's got like American gear on. This is what's documented in the One Chance to Win. Is that right, Brad?
Yeah, that's right. That's a good video if you want to watch that race. It kind of tells the whole story.
It really is, because you introduce like a lot of controversy to that race, just because you kind of you were a GP guy and you show up and start tearing the American series apart because you were faster than those guys. So it's just some bad luck or bad bike breaks or cars makers causing it all. It's like kept you from winning that thing. It was close though. It was really close.
Yeah. And cars makers, he would have won the championship, but he got slowed down and everybody caught him, and then he got in a wreck with Tony D or somebody, and so he lost a couple $100,000, and that's what he got for breaking my shifter.
There you go.
Wow. Hey, so we want to kind of go back and just break it down, the difficulties that you encountered just racing in Europe. We don't have cell phones, we don't have GPS, we don't have smartphones. None of that existed. You'd have RVs. I think you told me at VMD you shipped your RV over there. I mean, just currency, all those hurdles for you.
Crossing the border.
The food. Tell me about just give me any kind of idea what life was like during the Cold War racing a dirt bike.
Oh, boy. When I got to Czechoslovakia in 70, and it was a training camp in Tripes, and they took all the best CZ riders from the United States and even Canada and shipped us all over there for a training camp and to evaluate who was who in the zoo, basically. And their plan was to pick the best guy and put him in the 250 GPs the following year on a factory CZ. And so out of all the guys, myself and Sonny DeFeo from New York, we were, about the same. And so they said, well, we'll keep both of them because then they'll have a friend and it'll be easier for them, And I went, oh, man, that sounds pretty good. And get to ride the 250 GPs. Of course, all the 250 GPs that year were in Eastern Bloc countries. So you go to Poland, East Germany, Yugoslavia, Czechia, it was just Russia.
It sounds
we didn't go to
scary.
Russia that year in the 250. Yeah, and you can't believe it, really, there's a country the size of, I don't know how big Czech is, but they have a fence around the entire country with machine gun turret stands every 20 feet or so, with sand pits on both sides of the fence so you can see if anybody's been walking there, and guys with machine guns up there, and nobody goes anywhere. You talk about a fence, that's a fence around the entire country. And, when I got there, I was very naive, and I went, man, this place must be so cool, the motocross tracks. They don't want nobody in,
Yeah, they're trying to keep everybody.
Sweet.
Yeah. So you were like, this is 30 years after World War II. So there has to be still some remnants from that. I mean,
Yeah.
all the destruction out
Still
there.
destruction, yeah.
Little side note.
Yeah.
Like we talked to you at VMD. You don't look old enough to me to be talking about
I agree with that.
1970
Yep.
stuff. Like really, you talking about going to Europe in 1970?
He ate good in Europe for 30 years. Then,
You were a kid, though, right, Brad? I mean, 1970, you're pretty young.
20?
Oh no, I was 16. Turned 17 in Czechoslovakia. I think I had my birthday.
So you're born in 54-ish, 53?
So parents then were just
53.
almost just like parents now. You can just go and leave and
Not parents now.
I know, not parents now. Now you got a helicopter parents.
Well, that's the story with Sonny DeFeo. We both called home, and Sonny asked his dad if he could stay and go ride the GPs and all that, and his dad said, "No, you got to come home and finish school." We weren't even out of high school, and my dad, I said, "Hey, I got the Steel Factory 250 GP ride, and that's what I want to do." And he goes, takes a long pause, and he goes, "Well, you can always finish school." I went, "That's right. I'm not going to get this deal ever again."
I love you, Dad.
16 years
Yeah,
old.
that-
So what? So
That was the smartest move he ever made.
It
Yeah,
really,
for
that
your
really
whole
was a
career.
good choice, and that's hard to believe.
how did that work? Like, okay, so you fly off that way. You're 16. Did he give you like $40 and give me a buzz when you get there? Like, how did that even lay out?
My sponsor here, my CZ sponsor, he gave me $101 bills glued together like a little checkbook,
$101 bills.
Yeah, $101 bills. And so he gives that to me when I'm getting on the plane. I go, what the hell is this for? He goes, "You'll figure it out." So that was my grease money. So anytime I needed something, and English was, 2 guys spoke English, at the factory, and that was it. Everybody else was, speaking Czech or German or something. So when I needed something, I just pulled that baby out, peeled one off or two, and handed it to him and pointed to what I want, and that worked out pretty good.
The fact that forget all the dangerous things on a dirt bike you've done. The fact that you're alive, period, going to Czechoslovakia and in Europe by yourself when you're 16 years old.
There's no cell phones.
There's that story doesn't even somebody that's
You're so nonchalant about that.
Yeah, and somebody that's a non-motocross person doesn't know the history of motocross. They wouldn't even believe this story.
No.
I could go home and tell my wife this, and she's like, "Are you sure?"
Hey, was Barry Higgins on this trip? He told us something about Sonny DeFeo's credit card running up a big
No, that
bill.
had to be a big different deal. We didn't have any credit cards.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I kind of wondered. I didn't know. It's just some story he told. It was ringing a
Yeah,
bell.
and they were trying to put me in the factory housing with all these old, I'm 16 and these guys are 40, so they look 90 to me, And there's 4 beds in a little tiny room the size of 4 beds and a sink will fit in there. That's it. And these guys are looking at me. I got long hair, and I'm just going, "Oh boy." I stayed there one night and I said, "This is not going to work out for me." So I talked to the one guy that spoke English. He was a younger mechanic at the factory. And he said, "My parents, they have a summer cabin. Maybe you can stay there. I'll talk to them." So he talked to his parents into letting me stay there. And so I'd ride my motocross bike after work because I worked at the factory all day during the week. And I'd ride it out to this little cabin that had no running water, no electricity. It was just a little box on the side of a hill right below was a little river or a little, creek.
Yeah.
So I could wash my stuff and wash me and wash my bike and
So it was 18.
had a good bed.
What kind of temperatures are we dealing with?
1850. We're
It was
talking.
1850. What were the
And
temperatures?
the temperatures were 50.
Was it cold? Was it decent temperatures to be washing in the
No,
creek?
I was there in the summertime. So
Okay.
I was there for 6 months. So
Of course, we envision like snow and all kinds of
Guys
difficulties.
No.
like Rocky and
Yeah, like just like Rocky, but man, it's for real.
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
have
not quite like
something
that.
like in my head where these factory workers wanted you to go drink beer with them all the time or something. Have I made this up in my
were you
head?
stamping parts out. Like, what'd you do there?
No, when they're walking to work in the morning from their house, they walk to the factory because they all live
Yeah.
in the town where the factory is, and there's these little kiosks that just little tiny beer thing, and they have pickles and beer, and these guys would get a pickle and eat a pickle for breakfast and drink a beer. So, I had to jump in there to be like them, so I wasn't the strange guy. So I'm drinking beer at 16, going to work at dark and 0:30 in the morning to work in the factory.
No, we don't.
I know, but like, what are your classmates doing? They're getting up. Their mom made them little flapjacks, and they went to school.
Yeah, your life
got a beer and a pickle, and you're going to work in a factory in Czechoslovakia.
I get up first. I go wash my bike in the creek.
And then I wash myself.
Then I wrestle a bear.
Then I have a pickle and some beer.
Yeah.
Dude, Brad, this is gnarly, man.
And then I have a pickle.
Look, we have mad respect. That's why we're asking, because we're blown away.
I am so freaked out and have mad respect right now. Like, that is like,
It's incredible.
dude,
and this was all a part of your journey to win.
I'm sure Jet
World
does the
Championship.
same thing though. Jet probably doesn't have running
Jet
water.
Lawrence has, eats a
He
pickle.
did
and-
sleep on a pool table for a
Works
couple
out-
of years.
Yeah.
In a garage. I
Fair
do
enough.
know that.
Yeah, they thought that was tough.
I bought
That
bought
was
a
Taj
bow
Mahal.
and arrow, and I'd hunt rabbits and pheasants with it for dinner
real?
sometimes.
For real.
Of course.
Sure. And then I went back to Checo. I don't know. It was 2000 something, 2014. We went back there, and there's a guy that used to work at the factory. He builds CZs from scratch. He makes them all himself, everything but the tires and the fiberglass tanks. He makes the frames, he makes the motors, he makes the cases, makes the hubs, and he builds these race bikes for vintage guys. And so I got a bike from him in 2000 or so. And so I went to stay with him, and he lived right by where that cabin was. And
I
he
hope,
says,
I hope you built that son of a bitch. Did you help him build it?
no, it was already there. And so he says, you want to go over there? I go, yeah, I want to go see it. So he takes me over there, and then the brother of the guy that talked to the parents and let me stay there, which he was around too a little bit. So he was there because they still owned it, and he took me inside, and it's just one room with a little kitchenette thing with nothing in it but small, and he had my bow and arrows hanging on the wall in there, saying, "Okay, this was for you. We left these here, put them up on the wall."
So
Dude, that should
cool.
be a damn museum.
That is insane.
Brad Lackey slept here. You and Abraham Lincoln. Same
So
little-
you went 45 years later, basically, I think, if you were around 1970 on this
40.
cabin.
That's 40 years.
And then you went there to 2014 or something.
No, he said 2000. So 30 years.
Still.
That's impressive.
I want to challenge anybody listening to the morning. Just have a beer and a pickle on your way
And
to
go
work.
bang your
Call it.
job out.
No thanks.
What do you-
Probably cause some issues right there. So,
Like, they
so
sell
you did.
pickles at Waffle House and IHOP. Just
How do
what
you
do
get a
have?
pickle and a
Just have
beer?
pickle, yeah.
You have to buy them yourself. So you
Hey,
did
they were
get
happy
to
to
race
have a
race.
pickle and a beer.
Oh, for real? That was like a treat, I guess. Right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
pickle and a beer. Dude.
I mean, when it's a communist state, there's no magazines. You can't bring in a Time magazine or a Playboy or something. They don't let anybody see anything. There's no outside influence, so they don't think they think everybody's just like them. So they're not trying to escape.
Everybody has
So
pickles
they
for
keep-
breakfast.
And M16.
Yeah, they think that's a good thing. They don't know about a flapjack.
They had to have been drilling you with questions about America. Like, you probably were
That's
like
a great
a
question.
famous, like you were.
All right, just tell me
Oh,
all
they-
about America.
Yeah.
All the young kids, yeah, they get some kind of pirate TV sometimes and can learn some English from TV, and they all wanted to know about it, and they all wanted Levi's and hide me in your car when you go to the race so I can escape, and I'm going, no, man, they'll kill me.
Yeah.
I'll be shot right on the spot. So, I always had to check my car and make sure there was nobody hidden under the hood or something,
Some dude's hanging
Because
by a
they wanna-
belt.
Dude, you're making next level decisions at 16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they want it out for sure.
I would have tried to get every girl out. That,
Cheryl Teagues, you're coming with me.
Every girl been like, hey, can you sneak me out?
You damn right I
Yeah,
can.
I can.
Nick may or may not have issues here. May or may not.
Dude, I'm so fascinated. Like anytime, like we've had Barry on, he's a local guy. We've known Barry for a long time. So anytime we can hear the plight of what it was like to race during that time, especially over in Europe, good Lord, man. I mean, it's just fascinating that, and that you slugged it out. That was the kind of the whole, like the
And you
gist of
stuck
our-
with it.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying. 10 years of just,
The
pickles
difficulties
and
are
drinking
are
beer.
different. Yeah,
I
they're,
don't know
they're
if that-
next level. And
right. I'm sure it got a little better. I like to think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't live in Czechoslovakia the whole time.
Obviously, obviously. So, but you got to race some races that year. Like they let you race. You got to get on a CZ factory bike.
Yeah, I rode 6 250 GPs and 1 500 GP. So, that was my first GP experiences. So, that was really good. And 250 at that time, it's Joel Robert and Sylvain Gabor's on those factory Suzukis, and they're just 197 pounds or 187 pounds, and they were just factory crazy good. And and Joel, he didn't even need it, but with it, he was just unbeatable. And so, I'd get lapped by Joel most of the time. And, I think my highest place, I got 11th one time, almost in the points. 10th, you'd get a point, So, I learned a lot, though. And I rode the 1-500 race, which was, I like 500s better than 250. So I was a little bit, I don't remember how I finished, but that race was a Czech GP. So I was already there. So we just got me a 360 and went to that. And then I came home in 72, that was in the 71, and won all the nationals that I rode, except for maybe second at Saddleback, I think. You guys can check all that stuff out. And won the national title. And then in my contract,
so you're 17. You're so damn young. That's super young.
By this time, I'm not sure. I have to do the math. I could have been 18 in 72.
Still, yes, you're 18.
Young.
Anyway, so I had a clause in my contract that if I won the national championship for Kawasaki, now this Kawasaki, didn't even have but one bike, a prototype. Yamaha was just barely getting going. There was no Japanese bikes in the championship except for Yamaha and Kawasaki, and they were prototype things. And I said, if I win, I can go back to Europe and ride the Grand Prix if I choose, or I could stay and ride the American races. And so they forgot all about that. And then when I went to, talk about the following year and what was going to happen, I said, okay, so how are you going to send my bikes to Amsterdam, or where's the Kawasaki distributor in Europe? And they're talking, what are you talking about? I go, well, I'm going to go ride 500 GPs. No, you got to stay here and ride around with the number one bike. I go, well, here's my contract, read it. I chose to do that. So they weren't happy, of course. And, they didn't help me at all. They just gave me one bike and my mechanic, and we just went over there and plugged along in 73 and, didn't finish too many races and just had, no support whatsoever. So
were there any Kawasaki's there at that time? I mean, I'm sure this is the year of the black Kawasaki, right? I mean, were there other Kawasaki's?
Yeah. In the 250 class, I think maybe Torleif Hansen was riding one, and a little bit later, I think Hammergren, maybe 74 or 5, he was riding a Kawasaki in the 500 class.
He was Swedish or something.
Yeah. So anyway, I knew that Cowie didn't care about that, but Husky did, and they were big in Europe and big in the GPs with Heike and everybody, and banked and all the champs. So I said, all right, I got to get a Husky ride, because then I'll have support, and then I can do what I want to do. So I signed with Husky for 74, 5, and 6, and
for how
climbed
much?
up the ladder to
how much?
Climbed up the ladder to maybe 5th place or something in the championship by that time. And
Brad,
then in 77.
Brad, how much was that contract for?
The Husky.
I don't remember the Husky one. The Kawasaki one was $30,000, and that was money for a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
sure.
man.
In that time,
especially that year,
that was more than a house.
Yeah, that's like really good money. I'm surprised they could do it. They don't. That's why I kind of asked, like, did they even have bikes on the GP circuit? So the fact that they did and they could pay you too is proof they were kind of making an investment.
Yeah. So anyway, the first contract $30,000, the last contract $250,000. So.
But
well done.
That was the Suzuki. Are we talking Suzuki? Are we skipping that far forward? Is that yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. I think it's pretty amazing that you had any kind of Kawasaki. There just weren't any. And I've seen a picture of that bike, and it is, I don't know how it rode. You rode a 400 as well, it seems like. Was there a 250 and a 400?
It was a 450.
450, okay.
Yeah, and that tank situation and Black Cow and all that. That's because our tanks broke and we had to put a Husqvarna tank on it because we had no parts.
So some guy here, Legends and Heroes guy, built a replica Black Kawasaki, and there's not many people that know that story. So I never even knew it was a Husky tank that you were putting on there.
So
That's
great.
It's pretty
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, right? I know it probably wasn't for you because you're dealing with no parts, no support, but pretty awesome just to know it just sort of adds to your legend.
Yeah, the mystique.
It really does, because you push through things that you've pushed through things that you've downplayed over time and probably forgotten just how tough it was at the time.
Yeah. In 1970, in the Trans Am, the first AMA motocrosses, Mike CZ had a broken tank, and the CZ dealer in Columbus, Ohio, he didn't have a tank. So I put a Sachs tank on my CZ for the races there.
That thing had to be weird.
What's the deal here? Your
Yeah, big old steel Sachs tank.
Is it your balls like that's so big, like you break tanks or whatever with your balls? I'm being silly.
I ride them hard.
There you go. Yeah,
I think that's proof
Nick.
you're liking 500s at 16 years old. I mean, that's proof you're not scared to hold on to the thing. So, yeah, for sure. So, so you revisited some U.S. stuff on that Husky, and Kevin, I mean, we're both blown away that you could be at the front of GPs, you could be at the front of U.S. Nationals. So you are one of the legends, obviously, but you also faced other legends. You faced DeCoster at his height. You faced Hanna at his height. You faced Mikola at his height. Vromans eventually. Like, what name during those time periods gave you the most heartburn or made you the most nervous? Like, was there one guy that you had God, I can't believe I got to race
keeps
this
me
guy.
up at night.
Yes. Is there one of those?
From 76 getting off the Husky to 77 getting a factory Honda ride, right then I could beat Roger and Wolfink and everybody in that class except for Heike.
Okay.
So, it just kind of within 1 year, those guys were in the rearview mirror. I was already going, all right, I don't even have to worry about them. And that kind of happened fast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That kind of happened fast because 75, I won the last moto at the last GP on my Husky and beat Roger and everybody on a Husqvarna. Yeah. And, that was kind of right before the week before I came to the States for those 3 races that we were talking about. So the bike was really good and it was really fast. But, the guy I had the most trouble with was with Mallard. He was 6'2" or 3", 200-pounder. Those guys over there that rode the 500 class, like Carl Quist and even Noyce, even though he's a little thinner, they're all big guys, and, they're strong and big and they can, muscle their way through India and knock you over and do things. So anyway, Mallard was a little bit of a cheater rider where, the other guys were pretty honest, so I had trouble with him.
So that, to me, it's like you're riding the best looking bike. You're beating the world's best.
And biggest, apparently.
And so there's this epic clash on an uphill double. We think it's Sears Point. You and Hannah come together over a double into a right-hander. It sends you out through the crowd. Do you remember that race, that incident?
Yeah, I laid that track out because that's 40 minutes from my house, so I got the option of building that track. That track was awesome, as you can see in the video.
Dude, I didn't know that.
And I mean, it had really good up hills and stuff to work with, so it was a really nice track.
Super photogenic too. Like there was some big off-camber rollers or something that I always see pictures of.
Yeah, it was nice. It was off camber and all grass and natural. There wasn't a fake jump in it, It was really good. And I don't know, I won that race, that Trans Am race, 77 or 78. I got the trophy in here somewhere. But I don't remember if that was the one with Hannah and me dueling it or if it was the year after or a year before. So I don't remember.
Take us through that because we've got video footage of that. Take us through that section of you and Bob basically karate chopping each other. He hits you, you go into the crowd, you fall off the bike, you're still running. Like, just take me through all that.
Well, I don't have it in front of me, so I've seen it, but I can't really do that because I just know it was a G-force. You went down in a hole, and then sucked the whole suspension down, and then you popped up on an uphill kind of off camber right, which was, really, I mean, neat for motocross, but, hard to get through there fast. And, he came flying in and then jumped out of it a little harder than me maybe and landed on me or near me and hit me. And, that's all I remember about it.
Do you remember running over children and coolers and chairs or anything like that?
Not there at Evil Knievel's race. Yeah.
That was way up at the top of the hill.
Yeah, the very top.
People probably weren't carrying all the stuff up there. But hey, one thing, Brad, is like a lot of people don't think about guys doing crazy whips and, full flat cross ups and things like that. But there's a picture in 1978 in Italy. And dude, you've got that Honda laid out like the gnarliest whip ever. Can you picture what I'm talking about? Or were you like thinking I was good at whipping a bike? I mean, was it easy to do tabletops and cross ups and stuff?
I don't know what picture that is. I have one Honda one that's kind of like that, but I'm not familiar with that one. You might have to send that to me on my phone.
Yeah, I get Kevin to send
And
it
speaking
to you.
of phone, my phone's nearly dead. I got a red button on it here. But
Okay.
So if I just all of a sudden I'm not here, it went dead, and I'll try to charge it back up.
Yeah, no problem. So
Yeah, take me. I want to know what it was like to be an American expatriate, because you weren't like part of the American crew that we all saw growing up watching everybody race. And when you would come into town, you beat Bob, you would beat Brock Glover and all these guys. Like how were you received in America, kind of knowing that you were just going to dip out in a few rounds, and that was your deal, like that was your choice?
Yeah, they weren't happy to see me, I don't think, because hold on, I'm plugging in my phone.
My
okay,
man.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, especially like those nationals, there was 5 guys that could win that year, and so, like you said, I stir up the pot, and if Pierre didn't do what he did to me, I would have just rode around and won maybe, but or my bike would have broke too. I don't know, but it would have been a whole different outcome. Weiner, I kind of did the moves that made Pierre get where I didn't do anything but help him. So. And he won the championship that year. So, it's kind of, it's racing, but when you start pulling bad moves, you got to take the good with the bad,
Yeah, I was kind of talking to like the fans, like, because like, so we're in America, we're watching our American guys. When you came back into town, how do they receive you compared to?
Well, the only time I came back was Carlsbad every year. So yeah, I had a lot of fans at Carlsbad. They wanted me to win.
Yeah, I would think they were pulling for you, man, because you were
Yeah,
big boys.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because I was the only. I was the only guy on the circuit. So
Well,
but they don't really understand that Carlsbad. If Marty Moats won, it's no skin off my teeth for the championship. Because he takes some points away from.
That's right. That's right.
Me or whoever, but it doesn't affect my championship points. I gotta just get as many points as I can when I come home, and that's how in the end, when we won the championship in '82, we just did it by points. We looked at every championship prior and how many points it took to get to first place, and it was all pretty much close. It was 228 points or whatever I got. It was right around there, which kind of meant you got a podium or third place almost every week.
Okay.
And so you win when you can, and you're on the podium the rest of the time, and you're going to win the championship. So, we did it by that way. We just kind of figured points and knew exactly what we needed to get each week, and made sure that, if there was a bad situation, it was, fifth place maybe, because something happened, or I tipped over, did a small crash or something. But, and you can't, in the 500 class, it's unlike the 250, even at that time, you have to, there's 5 guys that are the dudes, and they can win every weekend, and you have to not break down, which is, a breakdown will almost certainly kill you. And I had 1 DNF out of 24 motos. Shock broke in half, and it cost me the win of that race, and it cost me 25 points, which was in the end, going into the final rounds, that was huge. So, just one misstep can kill your dreams,
Yeah, I mean, you proved that because you were so close in other years. I mean, that was 10 years. There were several years you probably could have won it as well, if not for a little luck or different mechanical situation, I would assume, because you had second place, before this, right?
Yeah, I got second in 78 and that was Heike, basically beat me. I had a chance to win at the last race, and I got knocked off at the start and went to the hospital, and then I didn't even ride the last race, but I still got second.
Yeah.
And then I got second in 80, but Mallard knocked me off in the first turn and wrecked my whole chance of winning. So, those 2 seconds were okay. But in 79, my bike was a prototype Kawasaki in the track, and I won more races than anybody, and I could beat everybody on the track, but it broke down as many times as I won. So that was the year that I had it in the bag if my bike would have just held together.
And I think as we were, young and everything watching this, Mikola seemed extremely intimidating, but you handled his stuff at the Swedish GP one year. I don't remember what year that you beat him there, but you did. Do you remember that? Do you remember beating Mikola?
Yeah, it was a mud race. It was 77. It was really muddy. And, I remember winning the moto and beating Heike, but I don't really, I don't know. He just didn't catch me.
to me, though, I don't know why. He just seemed really gnarly. He may have just been quiet or something, and that's why we thought that. But, pretty killer to see you do that, And so that was that on a Honda that you beat him on that moto?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you switched to those Kawasaki's. Did they have a blue engine in that thing, 79 or 80?
It was. It was a really dark blue.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, that bike was a nice bike.
It
was
really
good.
looked awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, because 79, it was a piece of shit. It broke every week, the frames, the motors, everything. And by 80, we just told them, okay, here's what you got to do. And they did it. And that bike was, I should have won that championship, but I got screwed by Mallard. But I should have had a bigger points lead somehow, going into that. And then it wouldn't have been such a close final round. But, it always seems to go down to the end, no matter what happens.
Yep, for sure.
Hey, so
Rogers won the last race by 1 point and won the championship, and he's lost it by 1 point. It's crazy.
Yeah, he could have easily been a 7-time world champ instead of 5 or whatever, or he could have been a 3-time,
or you could have been a 3-time,
or Brad could have been a 2, 3, 4-time.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
But, like I always say, I got a national championship and a world championship, and I'm the only guy that won a 500 championship, and will be the only guy because they don't really have it anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, your title stands.
So just take me through take me through the mental side of, as we've talked, I've realized there was this natural crescendo to you winning your championship. It was some early success and it kind of flattens.
Some third places,
then it kind of works to a second. So I just wanted to know where your mental state was in terms of how do you keep going after 10 years? But now I kind of understand you were getting very, very close.
Yeah, like I said, from 76 to 77, that changed, and the Hondas were really good. And, right then I knew I could win. Before that, I was on the Husky, and, I won, like I said, the last race. And I was just kind of held back that the bike wasn't quite there compared to, the factory Japanese bike. So getting on a Honda, a lot of confidence, and I figured, okay, well, this is a good year to win. And then, I forget. I think I got 4th. I don't know what happened. I don't have the points in front of me right now. But then the second year was when I got second behind Heike, and we had some really good duels. I'd beat him in a moto. He'd beat me, but he was tough. He never fell off. He never crashed. His bike never broke. He was just constantly there, and that was something that was, you had to do the same thing and be tougher than him, and that was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 80 to a new bike again, the Suzuki, and Roger. The last time Suzuki was in the World Championship was with Roger DeCoster in 75 or 6. So, when I got to Suzuki, they're handing me a bike from that era, going,
Right?
okay, here you go.
No.
And I'm going, wait a minute, slow down, guys. That was in the past. That's not anymore. Now they're 500s. They're not 360s. And, so 80 was just a complete, learning curve for Suzuki to understand what needed to be changed and all that. So, I won a Grand Prix or two in 80, but I broke my foot also. And had a injury half the season. So I had a bad year, and got sick. So it was the first time I ever went backwards, I think. I went backwards on the Cowie when it broke down every year in 79.
Yes.
But that was bike malfunctions. This was both me and the bike. So by 82, we kind of had it figured out, and Simons and I got together. He lives up here by me, and I did all the testing, pre-testing in America, in California, instead of going to Europe on January 1 and doing all the international races in the mud and the ice and the snow like I've been doing for 9 years. I stayed here, nice and warm and dry, and tested the forks and tested pipes and cylinders and everything we thought we might need to have the bike capable of winning GPs, and got it really dialed in. I won the Golden State Series, and then we just shipped it to the first GP, and from then on, after the second GP, I was in the points lead, and I stayed in the lead the whole time, the whole season, just by doing those numbers like I talked about. I won I won 2 or 3 GPs overall, but seconds and thirds in every other one. So that was what it takes.
I bet your Facebook, your Instagram, you were getting so many texts. It must have been awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have those things.
Just blown up, right? Yeah.
So you had, listening through the evolution of all these bikes. Do you ever think now when you look at these guys ride or whatever, obviously all the way through your years, not killing the motorcycle is part of the skill of winning, right? So you could always, there's probably no point in your career where you couldn't have said, okay, I'm going to break this bike this lap if I want to. You could break it you could break it anytime you want, versus I don't know what year that changed, but where these guys now, unless they crash, they can't break their bikes unless they just intentionally wanted to blow it up. But
that's a good point.
They can't break a bike now, and you could break yours on the first lap or the last lap whenever you wanted. You just had to have the skill of being able to ride the bike and preserve the bike.
Yeah, they hold them wide open after they win, and shit, that would blow up any of my bikes.
Right. Now they make it.
Yeah, that's true, because that was a big part of the 70s, was keeping the bike together and making it finish. And I had a Husky that I could make the chain fall off wherever I wanted it to, and Husky, they didn't believe me, and so I took him out to the track and I said, okay, where do you want the chain to fall off? And I said, okay, go over there and stand there. And I'd come over the thing and twist the bike a little bit, and the chain would fall off. And I'd go, the swing arm's flexing, you need to make a stronger swing arm. No, Heike's doesn't come off. I go, well, yeah, Heike rides differently than me. He goes, oh, well, you have to ride like Heike. I said, I don't ride like that. So, that's when I said, oh, man, I got to go to Honda and get out of here.
For sure.
That's amazing to think about. You had to, that was a skill. You had a skill that these people now don't have. Us included.
Or it's not necessary.
It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
They don't have to.
You had a necessary skill.
Yeah.
But part of the
you were faster than the machine could handle.
Yeah, and part of Heike, part of his skill in the races he won might be because he rode smooth enough not to kill the motorcycle.
That's part of the things we would always say about Magoo, Brad, was that he was faster than the chassis would allow, and you would just see that Honda looked like the rear end was going one direction, the front was going another.
And he was going another.
And it was impressive to watch, but I think you were the same way. So we get into this 82 championship season. Suzuki RM 500, I guess, is what you're riding?
Yeah, RN 500. They called
you
it.
had the factory bike. So straight across from the where Kevin was announcing at Mid Ohio, there was an RM 500. You don't see many of them, and I think part of the thing that year, that all I remember of stories I've heard of you was that at that final round with got Vromans, you were afraid to take the lead too early because of the fan. interaction. I guess these dudes were throwing rocks and bottles and swinging wooden stakes, or like, can you go through that last round and sort of your thoughts of, man, I can't really go for it yet.
Did you have a conversation like, hey, let's go easy because these fans are going to try to tackle you? Oh, was there a discussion? Or?
Oh yeah, we had a complete team meeting about that final round because, like I said, the shock broke in Canada. I won the first moto. I was leading the second moto with a couple laps to go, and like I said, Romans won, so he got extra points. I lost points. So going into the last 3 rounds, which was England, Belgium, and Luxembourg, I would have had like a 25-point cushion, and that evaporated. So I had nothing, and we went to England, and I won the GP, and we tied on points, so nobody moved anywhere on points. And then we went to Belgium, and he rode good, and I was conservative because Belgium in Namur is a very dangerous track. It's through the trees. It's just, crazy. If you screw up, you're dead. So it was one of those ones where I'm being cautious and conservative. So he gained some points on me. And then going to the final round, I knew that Luxembourg was my track. It was grass and, good and safe. And I won there before. So I liked the track. So I knew I could beat him. So we had a plan of going to the first race, and depending on, how the start worked out, settle down and get away from everybody that can screw with me, and just ride around in the back and let him lead me, or the race. I don't, you don't know how that's going to work out, but you just know that you can be behind somebody. And so Carl Quist was riding really good that day, and so Romans was in second, I think, and I stayed back behind him and let him just even pull away to a certain point, because we had lap times of every rider at every race, every moto, and depending on how long the race went, you could see when the guy's times would start dropping off, meaning he's getting tired or the track's getting rougher and he can't go as fast as he was in the beginning. So we had a cushion. I knew that I could make 5 seconds a lap on Romans at the end of the race, because he slows down and I go faster, because the track gets better for me because it's got more berms and more things, and you can really use like you see Jet do, he just hops stuff and goes here and goes there, and that's kind of my theory too. So anyway, his guys, as he came around for the final lap, actually he had a 25-second lead on me with 5 laps to go, and that was our plan. At 5 laps, just pin it.
Here we go.
25 seconds.
Yeah.
5. I know. Think about it. What? And I knew I could make up 5 seconds in a perfect scenario each lap. So as 5 laps went, I went 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Caught him with a half a lap to go and passed him. And when he came by the mechanics area the lap before, they said, okay, yeah, Lackey's 6 seconds or 5 seconds back, and you got a lap to go. Big deal, So he didn't think much about it. But then I caught him and passed him and blew his mind. So then he was kind of just wrecked. He just, he's yelling his people for not telling him that I was coming. Can't figure out how I made up 25 seconds. They're going, you cut the course. I'm going, cut the course. There's people around the whole track. You can't cut the track.
Yeah.
Anyway, so everybody left me alone because I wasn't a threat. And then it just happened so fast, they didn't figure out what happened. And actually, Noyce was in front of him earlier and, kind of not going real fast and just kind of keeping him behind him. And they broke his arm just for kind of slowing him down. So a spectator railed him with a big post and broke his wrist, and he had to go to the hospital. He came back with a cast.
This is different.
Just for, kind of not doing much. So yeah. I knew that was a possibility, because you got 60,000 people that want this guy to win and 60,000 people that don't want me to win. Yeah. So, wow. But after that comeback, and after the spectators saw what happened, and they all kind of, they're savvy over there, they've been going to these motocross races forever. They kind of went, all right, he deserves it. He's been here 10 years. He's faster. He didn't do anything wrong. He just caught him and passed him clean. And so I kind of I won him over is what happened. Yes. And second moto, they left me alone, and I just rode around in third place and and had enough points to win the championship. And Vroman's got like 7th or 8th. He was wrecked. He couldn't even ride after that.
I mean, so tell me this: in between Moto 1 and 2, did you know a spectator had broken another rider's arm? Were you concerned with any of that? Jesus, man.
Oh yeah, when after the first moto, when Noyce came back from the hospital, he told me what happened. I was going, oh man, I knew that was the situation in the first moto, but so then I come in and my team, my trainer and my mechanics, and they go, okay, I don't believe it worked. The 25-second thing. How did you do it? And I said, well, just like our chart, we knew we could do that. And so I go, okay, what's the plan for the second moto? And they go, there's no plan. We didn't think that would work.
Yeah, that's right.
You better pin it, bro.
This is it, dude.
Well, the plan is, okay, when you go to at the top of the hill, go inside. At the bottom of the hill, go outside. And when you see the guy swinging the fence post, try to avoid that.
Dude,
well, if you've seen any of those videos of European GP, especially in Belgium and Luxembourg, the guys are standing on the track. There's no fence.
They're packed.
Let me tell you,
That's awesome.
3/4 of the way through that story, all I could hear in my head was Rocky.
Dude.
Like you were
Brad, you kind of just talk about it like it's sort of normal, but man,
Dude,
there's
that
championship
shit
pressure, and then there's other levels
Getting your
of
arm
championship
broken
pressure.
by
you got to not break the bike. You not get attacked by fans.
Duck over fence posts.
You got to survive on a pickle and beer.
He gained their respect, though.
Oh my God! Yeah, you won over the crowd.
By the end, I mean, that's
that
awesome.
is an amazing story.
Dude, that's why we want to get you on.
That's why they call it the 500 class, not the pea shooter class.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I mean, and then the other part of that, what I was like through that story, the passion of the fans is so impressive too. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
they want to kill him at first. They want to kill somebody, right?
But
but then they turn on Brad. He goes, "They didn't want to kill me." That's amazing.
Yeah, that they're also smart enough to see
respect.
There's no
what you're
better
doing.
sports fans than Europeans.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, we know that, right?
Yeah,
you've seen it.
We've been to the donations over there and saw that. They're passionate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
They're great fans. They may kill a few people at a soccer game here and there, but
there's a plus minus. They'll allow 2 or 3 people to get killed.
Yeah.
So how did that feel? I mean, you win the world championship. I mean, how does that? Is there a big celebration? Is there just?
We had some Belgium sangria from our Belgian fans, and we kind of stayed up most of the night with our own little team in the pits, and then we got up in the morning and went and got a flight and flew to San Francisco. And I was home Monday evening and had a crowd at the airport. Dude,
that's awesome.
And that was that. And it hadn't even really sunk in yet. Because it was just happened.
That's right.
And got home and the Suzuki guys they came over and congratulated me and at some point Suzuki they after 81, they didn't think I was going to be good enough in 82 to pay for me and all that. But I had a good contract, so they had to pay me all the money anyway. And then they said, okay, just stay home, don't ride, and we're going to just pay you. I said, why would you do that?
What?
Well, if we don't have to build bikes, don't have to pay a mechanic, don't have to pay for a van going around Europe, that's $500,000 there. And, your measly $250,000, yeah, we got to pay you. We'll just pay you. So I said, stay home, lay by the pool in California, and you're going to give me $250,000, right? And they go, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
So that's 1983?
That was 81.
Oh, 81. Okay, this is pre-World Championship. Okay.
Yeah, this is after I had the bad season with trying to develop the bike and had a broken foot and all that. So they they basically were firing me, and then I told them, I said, well, I don't know who you're going to hire that's going to do better than me because, all the other guys had factory contracts, and I kind of went through the list and, they only had an option of Vromans and, Jean-Jacques Bruno and a couple guys that were, not at the top of the class yet. Yeah. And I said, well, I tell you, whoever you hire, if I ride, I'm going to beat them. And just to make sure that you don't win and I win, and that made them nervous.
Yeah.
And I told them I talked to Kawasaki and they are going to pay me $250,000 to ride a Kawasaki and 82, and I guarantee that I'm going to beat whoever you hire, and that's going to make you look very bad because I'm going to make 500 grand and beat the rider that you fired me for. And then they come back in a couple of weeks. Okay, everything back to normal. I go, okay, back to normal.
Back to
normal
normal
means what? Yeah, you're going to pay me, and I'm going to have a bike, and I'm going to race the GPs. Yeah, okay.
So
yeah, but then I knew there was something in the air that wasn't right, and I couldn't figure it out, and I finally did. My contract says that they'll supply me with bikes, and I go, you're going to give me stock bikes and give the other guy the factory stuff, and I'm going to look like an idiot out there, and I can't badmouth the product. That's also in the contract. And so I go, that's what they're going to do. I know they are, because they're just, they wanted to be that sneaky. So anyway, I made a little addendum to the contract that I would be supplied with factory equipment like every other rider on the team. Wow. And the guy read that, and he signed it and threw it on the ground and said, "You very clever."
It's just so weird.
So wait, like you got to.
So not only do you have to fight the spectators, you got to save the bike. You got to fight to get the ride.
Fight your boss. Right?
Kevin, tell him exactly what that sounded like when he told him that. He said, "You are very clever, Mr. Rocky."
That's what he said.
That's what they probably said to you.
Yes,
in my mind.
Forever.
Not so fast.
So anyway,
Mr. Rocky.
After Luxembourg, he came over and I said, "I told you so," because Bromans was the guy they hired, and I beat him, and so they go, "Okay, very good, Lackey-san, thank you."
Pay him
and
full price.
They got first and second in the World Championship, which they hadn't done since Joel and Gabor's. Yeah. They won the Manufacturers Championship and beat Honda after just 1 year coming back with 5 years off with a Honda domination. Yes. And so they got everything they wanted,
I mean, that is epic, right? I mean, you laid it up for them, for sure.
Can I ask you a question about, since you know a lot about American motocross and European motocross, obviously, back then.
Motocross.
Do you think that, are there things that the American motocross, the series, everything could learn from, or we should adopt from Europe?
Good
like
question.
Some of the way that they're set up and their way. Because just when you said Manufacturers Championship, we don't really do that here.
Well, they have it. It's just not celebrated. It's not as big.
Or maybe there's just things that we should celebrate more, because obviously it's a bigger sport in Europe than it is
at
here.
That time.
At that time, for sure. Yeah.
Bounds.
I mean,
like if you watch the podiums after a normal GP over there, Honda or whoever's leading the points, they give that company a trophy right there, and they make a big deal about it. Yeah, I think that's huge, because the whole reason they're out there with these bikes and these riders is to sell stuff and get publicity, and that's what that is. They can claim, hey, we won the Manufacturers Championship for 5 years in a row or whatever. What's that tell you about our bikes? They're great. They don't do that, and other than that, I think they really should make the races longer and make these guys get in shape.
There you go. Right there.
All right, so we've got a list. We've got this little dry race board, and there's one thing we've already covered, even though Jake circled a couple things, we've already kind of covered it. But, John, you have one question about buying your championship bike?
I just love the fact that Brad has his championship bike. I think Suzuki threw those things off a pier.
Why?
I don't know. I've heard they did.
Yeah, no, they cut them up in Belgium. Sylvain Gabors is the team manager for Suzuki in Belgium, and they have their own, workshop, and, it's like a mini factory. And they take care of all the Suzuki riders, 125, 250, 500. And at the end of the season, the Japanese tell them to cut them all up and throw them in the dumpster, And so my bike, it went straight there to Sylvain Monday morning after the race, and Sylvain's brother, which is a racer guy in vintage even today, he nabbed the Simon's forks off of it. Sylvain said, "Yeah, sure, take them. We don't want those crazy things. They're upside down." So he took them and took them home with him, and then the bike, just so I guess they could roll around, they put on a set of factory forks, just like what I got it when I got it, and then Harry Everts was still racing in '82, and he was racing the Belgium Championship, and he wanted to ride that bike, my bike that won the championship, because it was completely different than Roman's factory bike. We had a different pipe, different cylinders. Mine was a 4-speed, theirs was a 5-speed. I started in third gear. It was just a complete different engine.
Third gear.
And so
you only got 4 gears.
Yeah. So Harry rode it in some races, and then he just, laid it against his shed at his house, and it was sat outside probably for a while. And then one of Sylvain's buddies that buys backdoor factory parts from him, a Dutch guy that owned a motorcycle shop, he knew that Harry had it, so he bought it from him, and now it's in Holland. And Sylvain knew all this kind of at some point, and I started asking him, "Hey, where's my bike? What happened? Do you know where anything's at?" And he kind of just teased me a little bit. Well, I think I know what maybe the swing arm is or something. So anyway, I went over there for the Motocross of Nations at Belgium in 2000, I think it was, and after the race, I went to Suzuki and I got Sylvain. I go, "Can we go find those parts? I want to try to build this bike again." "Oh, okay, yeah." So we drive to Holland. It's like an hour and a half. I thought it was going to be 10 minutes across the border, but anyway, so we get to the shop, and there's in the window of the shop, a big front picture window, there's Gaston Royer's Perry Dakar bike with the mud still on it, sitting in the window, and I'm going, "Ooh,
okay.
That's a good sign.
Interesting.
That's a good sign."
Yep.
Yeah. So go inside, and then the third guy on the Suzuki team that year was Jean-Jacques Bruno, a French kid, and he was his mechanic worked at that shop. And so when I came in, I saw him. And I hadn't seen him in 20 years or since '82, so 18 years or something. And he said, "Brady, hey, did you see your bike?" I go,
Whoa,
"What?
whoa,
What are you talking about, my
bike?
bike?" Yeah, I go, "What? What? Come here, it's over here." So he brings me back there, and he shows me this old beat up factory Suzuki laying there with factory forks on it. And, I had a Preston Petty fender, that's gone. I had a seat that said Lackey, that's gone. So, it's sitting there, and I go, "Well, why do you think it's my bike?" He goes, 4-speed. I went, "Oh, okay," because I had the only 4-speed. So I knew it was my bike. And so then I had to start negotiating with this guy. And this guy's a Dutch guy. And, when they throw up, they close their teeth to save the big pieces, They're kind of tight.
That's a
tight.
frameable quote, by the way.
It says wooden shoes.
It's a
Does
damn
wooden shoes make you a tough negotiator?
God, that is a great. I'm
Yeah.
framing that.
So anyway,
Close their teeth.
after about an hour and a half with Sylvain jumping his bones and stuff, and finally Sylvain told him in Flemish, "Hey, if you don't sell it to Brad, it's his bike. It's the right thing to do. I'm never going to give you any more factory parts out the back door." And so the guy said, "Okay." So anyway, I ended up buying it. And my buddy picked it up and shipped it over here, and I got it, and I put the seat back on, and put a Preston Petty on it, and got the sticker kit right. And then Sylvain's brother calls me and he says, "Hey, do you want your Simon's forks?" And I go,
Yes.
"Well, what are you talking about?" He says, "I have the forks." I go, "Well, why do you think they're mine?" He goes, "Because I took them off your bike the day after the race and put them in my basement, and they've been here ever since."
God, Brad, how
And
cool
so-
is that? You got it all back together.
I know. So I called Simons and I said, "Hey, Steve," because he takes all these great notes, he's Mr. Professor. And I said, "What was the numbers on the forks at Luxembourg?" And he read it off to me. And I said, "Hey, Jan Gabors, check those numbers. What are they?" And the same numbers. I go, "Okay, that's them." So he shipped them. I bought those and a spare motor, actually a factory motor, which I sold at Mid-Ohio this year.
What?
And
Spare factory
so I
motor?
had, a guy's building a replica of my bike, and he wanted a motor, and I had one.
So cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I got the forks, and now the bike's just like it was when I raced it, unrestored. Kind of beat up from Harry a little bit more than it was from me, but it's all there.
All right,
Yeah.
Brad. So tell me, what is your plan with the bike moving forward upon your when you leave this planet? Like, do you have that thing needs to go somewhere?
Very good.
Yeah, well, my son has put his name on everything I own already, so hopefully my wife will be here to control that a little bit, but I don't think he would even consider selling it, or maybe a museum loan or something. I'm talking to the barber guys a little bit,
Oh,
It did make it to Ohio, Pickerington. It was in the Motocross Across America.
Right.
Awesome.
I mean, I got to stand next to that thing, and it's super cool that it's the right one and it's yours. And
Damn, and hearing your story about it, it's
amazing.
Perfect.
Nobody has their bike, do they, Brad? I mean, most of the time those
Well,
things
Roger has every one of his, and he sold them to Terry Good. So he sold all his stuff because he doesn't have any kids that even care about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's good that yours do. I think that's awesome. Me and Nick talk all the time like our kids don't want our stuff.
Yeah, I got my 7th grade basketball. I was starting guard, Turner Middle School, and my kids could care less.
Exactly.
My jersey hangs in that.
And you were a good white basketball
Dude, I
player.
scored 12 points a game.
Yes,
Pretty
very
solid.
rare. So, but I think it's so cool that you got it back. I mean,
that's awesome.
That had to have felt so good to you.
Yeah, it only took 20 years of hunting, but it worked out.
Dude, it's just
That's a good story. That's
incredible
a good,
story.
That's a good journey right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good long.
Yeah.
All right, so I think this is a good place to flip the script. We're done with all of our
Well,
questions.
one last thing. Let me
one more.
just make a statement. This is not a question, Brad. Your stories, you play some of them off as if they're so nonchalant and they were just something you did and all that stuff. But I think anybody that listens knows you really were a pioneer, and it is awesome that it worked out for you.
I was lucky to be born when I was, because motocross was at its heyday in the 70s and late 60s, and I was a lucky guy to be there at the right time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
man.
I mean, in your story, like I know, like I'm not saying you don't appreciate, like you do. Obviously, you said you're born at the right time. I mean, you obviously have appreciation for it, but those are just some
It's epic.
badass stories.
yeah, no, we're sitting here like you're telling us stuff, and we're dorks, and we're like, our jaws are like, what?
Yeah, we're blown away, man.
Super
It's
geeking
awesome.
out.
I'm never eating anything but pickle and beer in the morning forever. Like,
Yeah, man. I'm gonna train.
I'm
like
going to see
Brad
my
Lackey.
life just
So flip the script
star
on Brad.
shot.
Train like Brad Lackey.
Well,
Pickles and beer.
Let me drop one little nugget for you guys, because you probably didn't hear about this. I don't know what year it was. Lori, what do you think when we met with Mel right after he won the... Anyway, I had an appointment with Mel Gibson to pitch him the Brad Lackey story. And we were calling it From Berkeley to Belgium. And it was Monday, the day after he won 5 Academy Awards for Braveheart.
Oh, wow.
So I had no idea that, he's going to win 5 Academy Awards, and my appointment was Monday morning after that. So I called up to the people and I said, so obviously this is probably going to be canceled, right? Oh, no, it's going to be here. I went, okay, cool. So I go in and I have a video and some other, paperwork and stuff and a half-assed little script. And I said, okay, here's the deal. And told them, okay, don't try to sell this thing as a motorcycle movie. It's a love story. Me and my wife going to Europe with the kids and racing just happened to be what we did, And so I showed them a video and then all the girls are crying and Mel shakes my hand. And he goes, all right, we're doing it. I'm going to spend $1 million on a script and we'll make it. And then shit happened and it went south. Anyway, so I'm still hoping someday.
That tells me it's worth telling. Your motocross file is enough in my world. I couldn't imagine a Mel, like a Mel
I will
Gibson.
find you.
A Mel Gibson
painted up.
Yeah,
like
he's painted
that.
up.
Damn it.
Yeah, it was going to be Brad Pitt, because at the time, we looked a lot alike. I had some pictures of him and pictures
No wonder
of me.
your
and
wife
couldn't
stuck
tell the
with you.
difference.
Hell yeah, Lori. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. So before we let you go, Mr. Brad Lackey, we have 5 dumb questions. They're rapid fire, and they require
Yeah,
no.
they
No
did-
wrong answers.
It's a no judgment zone.
Nick,
you just
you're
say
in charge.
whatever.
You just go.
Okay, Brad. This
Sorry,
is-
Lori.
Sorry, Lori. I hate to ask this first question. Brad, who was your first kiss?
Boy, I don't know her name.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, that's
Perfect.
That's
That's
a
it.
Perfect answer.
great answer. I couldn't tell you my first 20. Okay. The next question. What is your favorite non-domesticated animal?
So no cat, a dog, or a bird.
Cow.
no standard
No cow.
animal.
Just
no
pick some savage
sheep.
ass bird.
Not
cheetah.
not even just a really hot
Yeah,
sheep.
yeah, hawks.
Hawks.
Hawks. Heck
Hawks.
yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
call.
Somebody write this down.
Yeah.
Hawks.
First kiss, no name. Favorite animal, hawk.
He knew that right.
What is your favorite sandwich?
Yeah. Tuna.
Tuna.
Okay, right on,
Tuna
bro.
sandwich. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Sticking with the food. What is your, like, when you barbecue or you cook
you're
in
trying
the
to
kitchen,
impress somebody.
and Lori, what would Lori say even?
Cook this, baby.
What is your best dish that you cook?
Barbecue. I'm just a barbecue guy. I don't cook.
Barbecue
She
guy.
makes everything great.
Okay.
But, when you do a giant pork loin,
yeah.
those are good.
All right.
on, bro.
Cool. So pork loin barbecue, pork barbecue.
We're writing that
We're
Yeah.
from the South, so there's only one kind of barbecue and it's pork. Like there's no such
Barbecue
beef barbecue
pork.
is
Get out of
Yeah,
it.
That's a
we're barbecue
fallacy,
pork.
wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on.
All right. So I did good on the questionnaire there. Okay, good.
Yeah, perfect.
Two more questions.
Two more.
What was your first concert you ever went to?
Probably
Beethoven? Was Beethoven good back then?
He's not Barry Higgins.
Beethoven. That was Barry's first concert was
Barry.
Beethoven.
That was Barry Higgins with Bach. And Bach opened up for Beethoven. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was either Three Dog Night or Jethro Tull.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Which is strong.
Yeah,
Very,
it's a
very strong right there.
Start right there.
Yeah, that is a strong, strong answer.
Yeah.
And last of the 5 questions, or 6 if
6
you counted.
questions. I'm
Or if
like,
you counted
that's
the
6.
Hey, number 6 of our 5-question quiz is who is your hero? Like if you had a person that had an aura that you thought about, like
Yeah.
somebody that you were a little starstruck by. Maybe Mel.
Joel Robert.
Did you just explain? Joel Robert? Okay.
Joel
That's-
Robert, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far, because he was funny and he was doing that and goofing off, and he'd come up to the line and drink a beer and throw it on the ground, smoke a cigarette, take off, get the whole shot, win the race, and go, oh yeah,
No
nothing.
big deal.
Nothing to it.
Hey,
This is what I do.
like
Nick
that.
Blackman, best guess ever? Ever?
I got to say, I'm going to tell
All
you
time.
that you're the best guest.
All time. We've had Bob.
I think the best guest we've had.
And we don't say that
Oh,
every
come on.
Nah, dude.
I do. I really
Your
think
stuff
that,
is
so.
epic, man.
It
You
is
paved
epic.
the path. You accomplished
stuff.
a 10-year dream. It's probably a lifetime dream, but it took you 10 years to accomplish it. It just adds to your legend, man. It's
Best answers,
incredible.
all that stuff. Dude, thank you so much for your time. Brad, go lay down with Lori.
Mr. Honda.
Yeah.
And you,
Brad was Mr.
All right,
Honda.
guys.
Cook a pork
I'm
loin,
back in the garage
Eat
working
a
on
pickle.
both tacos.
All right.
Hey, right on, man.
Eat a pickle, have a beer.
on us.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brad.
Cheers.
Sounds
Thank you.
great.
Thanks, appreciate it. Love
See ya.
you. I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Ciao.
All right, ciao.
Dude.
I love that we have a 5
Five
questions.
questions
best
that are
five-
sick.
6.
Yes.
That's because of Fireball, dog.
So going
He's bad to the bone.
I
dude.
realized that as soon as I said it, I counted. I saw 3, and I was like,
You looked at it funny, and I was like, he's counting them.
and the way you made that humorous was even better. Hey, let's take the best 5 out of 6 answers coming
Yeah.
up. God
Dude,
dang.
I'm just telling you. When
what
you
a
I think
badass-
he articulated his story as well as you could. Like, because I was like, why do you do it for 10 years? Why do you get your fucking teeth kicked in? Well, like, there's this
You could
natural
see it.
progression.
He was getting better.
Man,
he
that
could
was so
see the
good.
goal. He could feel the goal. Heck, and another accomplishment, he stayed married
to Lori.
this whole time.
How much? I mean,
That's pretty wild.
Did he
And
get married
then
at like 15?
yeah, he was 17.
he got married last year, so he's been married this whole time.
I mean,
No, but I
there's
mean,
4 different women named Lori.
from
his
Lori
story-
from
Yeah,
Sweden and Czechoslovakia.
his it's just amazing that he got his bike. Like, okay, Roger has his bikes. Who else? Nobody. Until you
God
come
damn.
around to like maybe McGrath.
And the modern guys.
Yeah, these
back
modern
then.
guys probably write it in
Well,
their
they wouldn't let them
contract.
keep them back then.
No,
right?
they chunked them off a dang
Cut
'em
pier,
up.
man. They
Yeah,
saw them in
yeah.
cut them up
correct.
into pieces. And
No, there are Yamaha. Yamaha chops up their bikes with big old scissors because there's
The
a
jaws of
liability.
life.
Nick,
Yes,
let's
true
go.
story.
Let's go to Belgium. Let's find that pier and let's go scuba diving.
Dude,
Yes.
you will
Could you imagine if we found some old
Bro.
rusty out Suzuki's? Just,
Oh, there's 400.
They put them in Loch Ness, though. That's how they know nobody's going to mess with them.
Oh, the Loch Ness.
I ain't swimming down there with no goddamn weirdo fish. Stupid as hell, boy. He thinks he's better than everybody. Do what?
All the factory bikes got put in Loch Ness.
Loch Ness. Stupid as hell, boy.
Worry about
Japanese scientists place
He thinks he's
explosives
better than everybody.
to try to raise Nessie to the surface.
All they found was 14 RM250.
Hey, this,
RN. There
this
are
is a
N's. I
Fireball-
like how he corrected me.
a
Dude,
Fireball subject change. We have I bought tickets for us to go to
This is the most epic thing you've ever done in your whole life.
It is most. I mean, it's not.
I'm looking forward to
almost
it
like
already.
winning a 500.
It's the same as
close.
beating Romans in Belgium.
No,
Yes.
here we're gonna go segue into Bromado's next story.
I bought tickets for us to
No,
go
it's a
to
different story, Jay.
It's two of them.
Napoleon Dynamite
You damn right.
A live screening
live screening
featuring John Heder and whoever the damn
Pedro
Pedro.
and Uncle
Rico.
Rico.
Sledgehammer.
Dude, I guarantee you should take a steak and just chunk it at damn.
So
He'll play the part.
We went
Do you
to
know that was unscripted?
yes, I love it. And he didn't eat steak either. So
So-
yeah, who's a vegetarian?
last night. I went to Howard Jones at
Good
the
man.
Atlanta Symphony.
what song
Symphony
was
Hall.
his? I can't even remember.
We have the cinema quarter. Yeah. A lot of pop synth stuff, and he really has a lot more songs that you just don't know.
You just don't know they're his.
And
So-
you want her.
But it was at the same
and
place
she wants you.
where we're going
Oh, that's
to
a
the
great song.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
I'm adding it to Apple playlist. Hold tight,
Hey,
guys.
listen,
Need
I-
you stand still.
Whatever
I had
Stand down, bitch.
is
What's the name of
to
that song?
blame.
No
So
one ever.
my wife posted
And
a
you
thing with
want
that song.
I saw that.
I had 2 people call me today and say, "Hey, I saw you went to that concert," and I said, "Yeah." And 2 different people, different walks of life, everything. They said that "No One Is to Blame" song. They said, "I forgot he sang that song," and I was like, "Yeah."
Well,
They
you
go,
suck,
"Man, it
because
brought
I
back
knew that.
Yeah, they were like, it brought back some
No one
memories,
ever
and both of them were like,
is to
but not
blame.
really great memories.
Look, if you don't know this by the opening, Jake, I know you're a little young.
Jake, it's a classic. That's all we need
So
to hear.
yeah, but I was in that theater, and most of the time I could only think about the Napoleon Dynamite thing.
He's too worried about
Because
that.
we had pretty good seats last night, and I think for Napoleon Dynamite thing, we're like on the second row.
I think we're on the stage.
straight.
And
son.
so the whole time I was thinking, I can't wait till January. This is going to be awesome to sit up there.
Yeah.
That is classic, dude. Before my camper burnt down, I had Napoleon on DVD, and I had a DVD player in the camper. So every race we went to, I would say this to Raymond Phillips. I'd be like, "Hey man, you want to watch a movie?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, man, what you got?"
off any sweet jump?
Every time I'd tell him we're watching something else,
So,
I'd put Napoleon in, dude.
obviously-
I'm talking like for 7.
Hey, I
maybe
got the 1999
8
Supercross series.
years.
Obviously,
bar to
we're
bar?
going to dress up for this,
Oh,
right?
I will wear.
Yes,
I've
we
dressed
have
up
to.
as him.
So
at
who's
my
going to
track.
be who? You're
I
going to
had
be
a
I'm
perfect
Napoleon.
pair of moon boots. You remember when he did his dance
Yes.
thing? We had the exact pair for years.
So we're all going to dress up like Napoleon, or somebody going to do? You going to do Napoleon?
I'm
or-
Napoleon.
You're
But you can do him as well. But I did Napoleon at my writer's meeting.
I mean,
at
I'm
Raven.
going as Uncle Rico.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
would make
There's
a
no
good
way
Uncle.
that
I was like, hey,
no
if
way
you-
I can't do Uncle
If you
Rico.
take that jump
I'm
over,
thinking about being deaf.
if you jump on these yellow flags, I'm going to have to dock you a lap. I did a writer's meeting as Napoleon. I have pictures. That's my now profile.
Did you have your eyes like mostly closed?
Freaking idiot. No.
Don't jump on a yellow flag. You're making us look like
Come on.
Dude, that movie.
That's all I could think about when I was in there. I was like, I looked up like on Ticketmaster and looked up where our seats were. I was like,
Hell yeah, the Stoke was eternal.
All right,
Yes.
Nick, the Bromado. Just
Bromada.
Bromada.
Who Cliff has been in Ireland for a week, by the way.
Oh, it's a Bromado.
He has a son-in-law who's Irish who plays on some freaking rugby team, and this dude's a redhead that makes Nick look like a wimp.
Damn.
So I had scheduled you
He's right
guys for
here,
a little
dude.
match.
all right.
When
All
we
right,
go
so-
out west,
so
you're
we
gonna
gotta-
have to
we
fight
got-
this guy.
So it's the Bromada has nothing to do with moto, but Nick has a good repo
because
story.
Nick,
Okay, what do we want to hear? Repo? What? Tell me. Just give me anything, and I'll go. I got a
well,
repo
let's
story
say
for
last week was a repo
So
story. Tell him
back
last
it up.
week's Bromada
no,
story.
but like Nick owns a car lot, so he has to go and get cars because he
Finance
finances
company,
them
yes,
all.
we-
he
yeah.
finances
And
cars.
occasionally he has to go get them. And Nick went all the way to damn Boston, got a car.
Yeah, got-
Because the son of a bitch got smart on the phone. You
And
don't
Nick-
get smart on the phone.
and Nick went and got the car. So
He pissed me off, and I flew to Boston on a like,
After about a 15 minute.
Jumped over a
He
fence?
spent 15
After
minutes thinking about it before he
15
bought the
minute cool
ticket.
down period. I drove to the airport, got a ticket, went to Boston, hopped a fence.
You know
drove
how
back.
you do.
I would in 24 hours. I
so
was
that's
back from-
standard issue. So give me your like a more exciting.
A
one.
recent one.
What's more exciting than that?
Well,
that's a great
I'll
one.
give you. Well, I'll give you one real quick. I got a bunch of them.
You had a funny one, something about
Roger or Robbie.
no, my guy. Yeah, my guy, Bobby.
Bobby.
So, repo in a car. It's at a hotel, right? at a shitty.
By the way, you finance a car with Nick, that sucker's got a tracker in it.
He's coming for
So
you.
don't screw him over because he will.
He's
knock
coming
your
to the Hilton
kneecaps.
in downtown. You
So-
ain't gonna hide from him. You have to damn titty club.
It is we're right outside of Atlanta.
Drink
so
that thing. Stop.
we are
I like to keep my pinky from
at a
grabbing drink.
shitty hooker hotel in Atlanta, right? And when you
off University.
off of Fulton Industrial,
Oh, even better. That's
Oh,
where the
so-
nice hotels are.
so you know.
I'm scared in the daylight.
I mean, we know what. I mean, they're hookers. Place called
Dude, I
hookers.
saw,
in the
one
daytime.
tried to get in the dump truck with me at
Fannies?
7 a.m.
near Fanny's.
7 a.m. on Fulton Industrial. This
There's only
chick's
two
trying to
lights
flag
side by
me
side.
down in a dump
Yeah, it's
truck.
across where the
Because you shift them 10 gears and you got 15 liters of Cummins
when I was in
Fire.
high school, it was a Red Roof Inn. I don't know what it is
Oh,
now.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That place was sketchy.
the night's in.
So, anyway, we're there. A lot of times, if you repo somebody's car, they hear it in the middle of the night. There's couple things about when you go repo cars. Like even if
Disconnect
you
the
have a
backup
key,
alarm.
we don't have a backup alarm on the car because obviously you don't
No,
want
on
to
the
the truck, so you don't want to hear it.
Okay.
But the good thing
That's
about
against
taking
DOT
a truck,
standards. I hate to break it to you, but a man gets pulled over for a DOT inspection. First thing I gonna check is that backup alarm. You fail that. Oh, okay.
Stupid as hell, boy.
We thinks he's better than
We're
everybody.
gonna stick your fuel tank. You probably running
Do
red
what?
fuel in that son of a bitch.
I'll
Do
give you a
what?
little repo wisdom, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Like it's almost
what?
like bar fight wisdom. I'll give you a little bar
I'll
bar
stop.
fight wins repo wisdom. Like if you
All
ever
right.
get in a fight in a pool hall,
Okay.
and you're going to hit somebody with a stick, hold it by the fat end, right? Because if you hold it by the skinny end,
breaks.
it's going
It's
to
gonna break.
Dude,
And then
good stuff.
you're just holding the little skinny
Do
end.
what?
I'm listening.
Things
Seriously.
you've never thought of.
Yeah, if you hit them with the holding it by the fat end, you still got the fat end.
Now
Do
you're-
what?
Yes.
All right, I got you.
So when you repo a car, sometimes if we have a key, you can just drive up and hop out and get in a key. But the good thing about taking the repo truck is if you've got the key, like that keeps you from getting shot. Because
Yes.
Do what?
I'm
Bam!
official.
He shot.
Yeah, because if
hey, who are you sending? Like low level, like $8 an hour.
Do what?
Boom! He got shot.
Do what?
no, but like so
Do what?
Yeah, he got shot.
Kevin looks like
If you have-
Ian Compton.
if you're
right
in the
here.
truck, they know you're there to repo the car.
Do what?
You're
yeah,
not
he got shot.
stealing it.
So you
right?
send the next guy in after Johnny $8 an hour. He goes in.
Do what?
He gets shot.
No, you don't have that. I've only been,
Everybody's getting shot.
I've only
I hope.
been had a gun pulled a couple times.
Sure.
So
Do
this,
what?
this particular time, we're backed up to the truck and we hooked the car, right? So
Heck
we're,
yeah.
at the time, we had a truck that did not have the automatic, like you had to get out and put the L arms in for the
Okay, yeah.
snatch truck, right? For the tow truck.
You couldn't just hook that
It,
thing.
it
in.
didn't do it with it. You know, the one we have now, you just hit the button. And
That
you don't,
keeps you from
you don't
getting
even have to
shot.
get out
They
of the truck.
spread out. That way you never exit.
Do what?
That guy got
So-
shot. He went out there and he was putting them L arms out.
Do what?
Boom! He got
So we're putting the L arms
Do
in.
what?
he got shot again.
And would you stop?
That's so
So
what?
Do what?
we're putting the L arms in. I'm on the passenger side. Bobby's on the driver's side.
Oh, you went with him?
Oh, yeah.
He thinks he's better than
Yeah,
everybody.
Bobby's like whatever, dude.
Bobby's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I thought
So-
he was high.
Do what?
The lady.
So you got Bobby.
He thinks he's better
and
than
you got this other
everybody.
guy.
Do what?
That guy.
So the
I'm
hooker
done, I promise. Oh,
comes out.
come on.
I'm guessing she was at a hooker hotel. I'm guessing she was a hooker. She was buck naked, and there was a guy with her who was buck naked.
Damn.
She
They're trying to
comes-
get my car.
She comes running out of the room, right down the stairs, other thing, and I like we don't see her because we're down on the ground, right?
So they're both naked.
Yeah, she comes out buck naked.
That's the only way I can sleep.
She goes about 320.
Oh, dang. So she was fine.
Do what?
She goes about
much?
about
Do
three,
what?
a solid 320.
Do what?
God,
So
almighty.
Bobby is on like his knees hooking up the tow truck, right? She runs at
Bobby's
him,
on his knees.
never even slows down.
Do what?
sorry.
Stands up, she jumps on him.
All 300 pounds. of
Hey,
He come flying. He
Hey.
thinks he's better than everybody.
Yes. She ain't.
Straddles her legs go over because he's on his knees. Her legs go over his shoulders, and
Face
her
first.
roast beef goes right
Do what?
Her bowl of scrambled eggs hits him right in the face.
right on the face. in the face.
That
So
is gnarly.
he wiggles his way out from under her.
Do what?
The guy,
He fought his way out.
the guy
Good man.
who was just scrambling her eggs is standing there. So incensed, you've just had his dick all over your face too.
Oh my God.
Right? He stands up, his face looks like a glazed
Bobby's
donut. And we got the car. We left with it.
You got the car.
Oh yeah, we left with the car. But he like literally
Dude, I
wanted
love
to-
that she tackled
He
him.
literally wanted to stop and like put gasoline on his face to get
I need to wash this off. Pull over. Let's get some
the
93
glaze
on
off
this.
of it. Now, I was almost puking from laughing.
Yes.
Like my stomach was sore
You
for
have
2
just
days.
the biggest ab workout you've ever done.
Dude, my face hurt. Because
So if you had to leave, you would not have been pissed because what you saw.
they could have murdered him and I couldn't do anything for laughing. Like the whole thing's going on and I'm
Man, I hated
Dude,
that Bobby
what?
died, but it was still awesome.
God
It
damn,
was
that's
funny.
they could have killed me too. I was incapacitated from laughter.
Dude,
There you go.
she jumped at him.
She basically ran right over
I
him.
picture both legs like up in the air coming at him, and
I
his
will
face is
suffocate
right here, and
him.
it's just like
Take that.
pow, and
Take
it made
that.
like a
I mean, from my side, it just looked
thing
like
got excited on me right there, guys.
kind of like that movie The Blob where it just crawled over everything.
yes,
And he fucking just-
that's how the laughter overtook you.
That's all I could do. I was
Dude, I can't believe y'all successfully repoed a car. You know, because when you don't make payments for like 5 months,
I just
or
put
something,
it in the air. Like as soon as anything like that happens, you grab the thing and put it up in the air. Because even if the police come, if you got it in the air, like if it's
you just
hooked,
raise the truck bed.
yeah,
you're saying.
if it's hooked, it's yours.
As you roll back,
Is
guys.
that really like?
You engage your
Oh, yeah.
PTO, you
Yeah.
throw that thing in gear, let the clutch
Really?
out.
You've
and
already got the PTO
that
on,
god
so-
dang rollback will rise right up.
Do what?
If you get in the air, you have possession. It's yours.
Man throws a PTO in. That's the
Do
same
what?
as repo. It's yours.
Yep.
Nick
So
pulled
that's
up in front of my house the first day and threw the PTO on.
Do
I'm like,
what?
just because you throwed your PTO in gear don't mean you get everything I own,
Do
you
what?
son of a bitch.
Driving that truck,
Do
that's the way
what?
you get women. Now, PTO just claims them.
He thinks he's better than everybody.
Stupid as hell, boy.
PTO stands for power takeoff.
Yes. So
It's
you
hooked to the
absolutely.
transmission, guys.
But that's
It's an
our Ramada
alternative.
story for the
Dude,
night.
This
the
is some
Ramada
kind of clip
story
we do.
delivered the best laughs. These shows usually, like they start here and they just continue up. Like Brad's story
Well,
was.
how-
I got 20 years of those. I got another one about somebody
Do
trying to
what?
Save it.
Well, save it.
Do what?
Settle down.
You get to going at a writers' meeting and you'll be like, stuff on things. Yes,
We was trying to get a car and
Stupid as hell, boy.
stuff on things.
things.
Yes.
We was trying to get that car and stuff on things.
You know,
Stuff on things. I believe this year's writers' meeting, because we didn't go,
Stuff on
Greg Day
things.
did. It appears there were 14.
Stuff on
Sometimes
things.
it's stuff on it.
14 for the weekend.
Yeah, well, for
Stuff on
the
things.
one the first writers' meeting.
Stuff on things.
You know, when everybody's just chomping at the bit to get out there.
And
in
if
that
you
pro section.
dare pass a man on a yellow flag,
Stuff on things.
you'll be docked.
Stuff on things.
There's a race and you ain't in it.
Stuff on
That
things.
is a good ride. It was a good place. I enjoyed that place.
Do what?
It was a good ride.
Good
you know,
banana pudding.
one thing.
Do what?
There was no wrestling. Yes, hold on. Before that, one last thing about Brad. We didn't really circle to the damn
Do what?
the heat he took for putting those Simon's upside down forks on a 1982 Suzuki. What year was the first time you saw upside down forks? 87?
Yeah. Yeah, we're 5 years before that.
I think
89.
no, I think it was 89. No, the 89 is yes, 89,
89 Hondas.
88.
Yes.
88, 89.
My damn meat stick
what?
just went to the sky, guys.
Your
she
microphone
gets
standing is erect.
Do
Oh,
what?
it felt so good when my
Yes.
mic stand climbed.
Honda was 89.
Do what?
And I'm
You're
guessing
exactly right, because I got one up there in the damn
cartridge.
barn. 88 was right side up. So Brad is 6 full years forward
Do what?
of upside down forks. And Suzuki's like, no,
No.
you're not using these. And he goes, you want to win, don't you? I know this story because of the Motocross Files, which is one of the best things you will ever watch about Brad Lackey. He ran them anyway. Like, I can't believe these dudes pay him.
balls.
And he's like,
That's why I asked him about his tank.
you want to
Do
win?
what?
About his tank.
Yeah, just
Listen,
whatever. I'll put
how
I don't care,
shitty is it that
sacks.
he, like, met with Mel Gibson. He wins 5 Oscars.
He was going to do it, and Mel said, "Yeah, I got $1 million."
And then Mel
Braveheart
had a drunken
Fuck.
meltdown and ruined.
Do what?
No,
I think
Braveheart.
that's happened also with
No, that's what happened.
is it Jeremy or Ricky? Ricky's story. There's a documentary completed by Sam Jones,
Oh, yes.
and I've heard it's very inspiring. He can't find anyone to take it. The thing's complete.
Well, Mel Gibson could till he blacklisted himself from Hollywood for
Hey,
a while.
no,
blacklist
Mel's
yourself.
back.
He's back, but I'm just
He's
saying.
black.
He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Stuff on things.
Do what?
But he,
Boy, did you
but
hear that? We
he had a few years where he was jacked up, and
Hold on, John.
do what? Do what?
In stereo,
Dude, I mean, I'm telling you
No,
right
you
now.
do it. You do it. Just listen.
Do what?
No,
What am I supposed to listen to?
no. I'm gonna play it, and you do it, and just identical. Here we go.
Do
Do
what?
what?
No, I'll do it.
Okay,
and you
go
do
ahead,
it.
go
I'll do
first.
it, and then you,
Do what?
Do what? Dude, that's a guy named Jack Parsons.
It
who's
sounds
a
just like you.
stockbroker. He's a stockbroker in like Crabapple.
God dang, you make me laugh.
So super nice area, and he'll call you up and go, "Listen, son, I got a deal
Do
on
what?
these here stocks over here." I'm just listening to him like, "How do you get people to give you money? You sound so stupid." He goes, "I don't talk like this
Do
to
what?
anyone but you. You're the only person who resonates with this kind of damn talk."
God dang, you make me laugh.
Hey, all I know, we thought Brad Lackey was a legend.
Dude,
He is.
I learned so much. Like, I wondered why he did it, but I saw the ascension, which is fascinating.
Yeah, how do you stick to something 10 years? Well, we didn't win. Well, we didn't win. Not 8 more times. Well, we
Yeah,
didn't win.
we'll figure it out.
Well, we didn't
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
And he
Different
Different
wins.
bikes.
We didn't really get into he got no contract the following
That was
year.
the one thing. Like, we have a board full of shit, and we hit.
We
everything.
didn't get Mr. Honda. Jake, you probably know something about that. Oh, yes, with Mr. Honda. Soichiro Honda. We need to send him the picture of that whip in Italy.
Send it to me. I'll send it
Those
to him.
old ass motorcycles, Nick, you can attest to this.
They don't whip.
They don't whip.
No.
They got long wheelbases and raked out front ends. You go over a jump, and you're supposed to lay that thing
I
out.
got the dorkiest cross-up picture of me ever on a KX125. I think I sent it to you one time.
Hey, I looked
Oh,
at
yeah.
I looked at a picture of us, me
I
and
was-
you, Mid Ohio, matching gear, similar Hondas. Yours is newer, obviously, but that's a strong look, dude. Matching helmets, everything. We look good. I mean, we're like
Team.
Brad Lackey level.
Dude.
No, we're not.
So, no, Kenny says he wants to sponsor us in some way. So,
I want
From
Kenny
Fast
to
House.
keep us the gear flowing in that
He-
coral color.
he will do whatever.
Because you know how they do runs of a color
Yeah.
and then they're out?
Just let me know what
We
you want.
need to tell Kenny.
He wants to help us out. He goes,
Send
"I
him
want-"
that picture of me and Nick at Mid Ohio. We're side by side,
Yes.
and we're coming out of I think
Kenny
out
from
of
Fast House, by the way.
Kenny Alexander,
The
bro.
owner, he will hook you up.
Yeah. So
Yes, he said it.
that is a strong look. We got the
We could use a sponsor.
orange, white, orange,
look good, too.
whatever color gear we have. It's like
Yep.
it matches our Terry Hunter painted helmets. Which hey, Terry Hunter, by the way, he's built some motorcycle that is.
That thing's idling, floating in the air. Like,
It's
what
the
is that?
follow up to what he
His
won
Barber
the
thing,
Barber
right,
small bore
right.
with, and he's like, "It's not as good. It's not as cool." he says all the
sure.
things,
Yeah.
and I'm over there like,
Bro,
"Dude,
that thing's awesome.
it's the baddest thing you've ever seen."
All right,
haven't
John,
seen
Nick, John, everybody. John, Jake, everybody. Now you have to answer. Everybody, first kiss.
Danielle Craig at the
Jake, here we go. Hold
Greens Crossing Clubhouse.
Jake.
REO Speedwagon.
Michaela something, 5th grade.
All right, Nick.
Oh God, 5th grade.
Yeah,
Nick.
we're getting young.
Yeah, I know.
Miss McGill, my 4th grade teacher.
Yes.
Mine was my first wife ever, Jennifer, who I had kids with.
Yep.
All right, next up. Favorite animal.
Non-domesticated animal.
Go,
Do-
John.
Does
You're up.
does a Highland one of those Highland cows, are those
Yes.
domesticated?
No, just whatever. They're not.
I like them
Does it run in
cows
the
with the
wild?
long hair on
All
top.
right, there you go.
It's a little weird, but all right. I'm going for a lion. I want to be a
Damn
lion.
straight.
Fuck
Jake
you
wants to
Yeah.
dominate.
No, if you could beat this animal or your favorite, because I would fuck
Both.
people up.
I just
Yeah.
like to look at him.
I just want to fuck shit up and be
lion.
awesome looking.
He wants to go around with huge feet and just tear
and
shit
jump
up.
12 feet in the air and scare the shit out of people. All right, Nick.
Badger.
pussy.
Yes.
I want to be a tiger. They're
I want a
quick.
badger. They're just small. And they will fucking fight you to the death.
Yeah, they're angry.
I want to be a tiger. Those things are fucking. They're a lion, but they have like 12 more feet of vertical. They'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
You
dog.
know what's a bad thing?
Next
They
up,
just
favorite
read-
sandwich. Sorry, Nick.
Nick, you
Go
go
ahead.
first.
No, you go.
You think
All right,
I
I'll go. Muffalata.
Oh, hell yeah, boy.
Stupid as hell,
That's
boy.
like he's better
I
than
mean,
everybody.
you gotta go Muffalata. You
A
can't
man
beat that,
claims a damn muffalata.
He thinks he's better than everybody.
Muffalata? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh, you're an
You
idiot,
haven't
bro.
lived, dude.
That's
You
like
gotta
the
know
baddest
ones.
bread on
Yeah.
the
I
planet.
want to get
All right,
cultured.
John, you're right.
Yeah, I'm more of like an Italian. Like you throw me some pepperoni and some of that salami, all the real the salted cured meats,
need
which
that
I find
olive
very
Creole.
erotic.
This week,
He thinks he's better than everybody.
There you go, Nick.
this week for me, it's a crawfish po' boy.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid as hell, boy.
Ooh-wee.
I think mine's Jersey Mike's has a Chipotle Philly thing that's like chicken chili
Hot.
Chipotle or something, whatever. Anyway,
Damn,
all right,
I'm
next
going
up.
there tomorrow.
Next question.
Oh, I might take mine back. My favorite sandwich is a pastrami sandwich from Cat's Deli in New York.
That sounds delicious.
Stupid as hell, boy.
It's the best thing you've ever seen. Weighs
He's
about 4
so
pounds.
much a Yankee.
Here we go. Next up. I can't read that.
Favorite
shit.
dish to cook. Okay, so here's what I like to do. I like to season up a bunch of chicken, and then this is the dumbest thing. We do it in the camper every time. Cook it on ramen noodles. Stick ramen noodles under it. It's freaking delicious
It
when
is
you're at the
good.
motocross track.
Jake?
No, you skip me. My wife cooks everything. I'm terrible.
Nothing.
I mean, maybe
Mac?
I can follow directions. Maybe lasagna.
Say it.
I don't know.
Lasagna. They got that
The
there
best-
family
If
size.
you have to impress
My
me,
best dish, if I needed to cook for Kevin Kelly, would it'd probably be like hot dogs and mac and cheese.
Stupid as hell, boy.
This is the zip tie I put on Kevin's toe
Yes,
last
you
week.
bastard.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's
or
a
well,
keeper.
last
We need to
year,
hang
whenever
that.
we did the last show.
That's steak, hands down.
Dude,
That's your favorite
Good
dish.
stuff. Good stuff.
Nick, and Nick nails it, dude.
He does.
That day in the dirt steak,
Damn.
some ribeye off some cheesy ass Coleman grill.
that's my best thing too, but like it's not
So
as good.
good.
As yours. Your steaks have been great.
yes.
What's next?
First
concert.
concert.
Here we go.
Alabama Mountain Music, 1980.
Where at?
The Omni.
All right.
All right, I went to the Masquerade, and my first concert ever
Damn,
was
that's
the
strong
Masquerade.
already.
And it was
Masquerade.
Norma
was
Jean
a
and
lot of
Between
fun.
the Buried and Me. It was like a little hardcore show, so I was pumped on that, and I was
See-
like probably 16.
So you had
some hard
parent-
rock
Your
right
parents
there.
weren't
That's some
involved.
Yeah,
Punk
that was
rock.
the
That's more
old. That
like-
was old Fourth Ward, the old Masquerade.
Is that
before they moved
punk?
it.
Like,
That's like a more hardcore metalcore band.
Metal.
Yeah, dude.
More metal.
But it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick,
I can't tell you the timeline, so I've narrowed it down to two. It's AC/DC or Billy Idol. I think it might have been AC/DC.
I told you mine.
What was yours?
what is it?
Mine was one of the Duke boys.
John Snyder or Tom
John
Wolpack?
Schneider at 6 Flags.
Yes.
It's
Hey,
so
I
gay.
saw Cool in the Game.
Stupid as hell, boy.
Yes, stupid
Okay,
as
so
hell.
I'm sitting here telling you that I saw Alabama at the Omni, and dude, it might have been Cool in the Gang at Six Flags. They were around the same time, and I was freaked the hell out because I'm running through Six Flags trying to keep up with my neighbors. They're 16, and my mom's like, "Yeah, you can take my 5-year-old." Why would she do that? Number one. Number two, some lady jumps out in front of me and screams, "Charlie Chan, Charlie Chan," and I'm a little bitty kid. It sketched
what
me
does that
out,
mean?
bro. I don't know, but it was sketchy.
All right, your hero, John. Could be a
Hero or like,
Just-
I kind of wanted that to be like somebody you meet that had an aura.
Okay. Better.
But a hero, but
just your hero.
Dude, it's crazy that I don't have an answer for you immediately.
I mean, it could be your dad.
That is terrible that I don't just have an answer.
Well,
I don't think so.
We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Don't go.
All right.
Jake.
Yeah, I mean, my hero was definitely MC or RC growing up. I think it was MC, and then it turned to RC, and then that was they were my idols. That was my hero.
Nick.
see, I'm with John. I can't name a hero right off the bat. I have a ton of people that I admire for all different walks of life.
There's moments where you're like, yes. But they
There's a
did.
ton of people that I respect. Nobody that I like.
I think we put men into a category of men.
Yeah,
We don't put them as some status, right?
Sure.
yeah. So I can tell you the people I've been around that had an aura.
Your hero. Just pick one.
I
You
don't
gotta
know.
pick one.
Muhammad Ali had an aura.
For sure.
Like,
You could feel it and see
I
it.
didn't even speak to him directly, but I was standing there while he was talking to somebody else in 1996 at the Olympics. That guy had an aura like you felt something, and I knew enough about him where he is kind of a hero. Like he did shit that nobody else would do and stood up for things that nobody else would stand up for. So that it may be Muhammad Ali. I don't know.
That's solid. That's a great answer.
But he's got, he has plenty of faults too, but that's he definitely had like when you were standing in the room with him,
you could feel it.
you could feel it. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it was.
how about you, Kevin?
I mean, it's so cliche, but I'll honestly tell you, it was my dad, and my dad had a lot of faults. But like my dad achieved elite status in every field. He was the
100%.
principal at a high school. Can't go any higher.
Yep.
He achieved pro national. You can't go any higher.
It's the highest.
He achieved the highest caliber of Kawasaki dealership.
Yep.
The highest
To
they
start
sold
Team Green.
They sold more Kawasaki.
Oh, yeah,
than
they were
anybody
number
else.
one dealer.
They were
Yep.
the whatever that thing is, and they started Team Green. So
That's pretty awesome.
He was like he had his faults. Like my dad was
Obviously.
a faulty man.
But you were also close to him. All of us, we don't know all that.
Yeah, I mean Nick gets to work with his dad, so it was my dad. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
lo-
now, if you ask me, like that was
all,
an aura.
all guys, all dudes. My dad was a dude.
Yeah, my dad was probably the same. Like I learned more from him. We didn't have everybody's got sketchy relationships with their parents at some point. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that they're
No, that dude was awesome.
that I obviously care more about him than anybody. If I went outside of that, then
No,
then
that's
something.
what I was trying to tell you. Like anybody, a celebrity, your dad. Like my dad did everything at the highest level. Like, that's where I measure myself.
Maybe that
on.
question needs to be sans your dad.
Well, all right. So if you're going to say that, then
Because when I got married, my dad was my best man. Like it was,
That's
you know what I mean? Like that's your guy. You know what I
that's
mean?
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
I
awesome.
mean, that's
Fair enough.
So if we just circle back to motocross,
Okay.
the little piece that Troy Adamitis just did about Roger,
Oh,
I sat there and listened as if Roger DeCoster was like in charge of spinning the planet or something. Like,
and now it can be in periods too. Because if you took
yeah,
me
there's
back,
eras, right?
if you took me back to 1985, 1986, and you said who's your
no, I'm telling you right now.
motocross hero?
No, right now.
Like who did you pretend? I can remember.
I had
riding-
to be Jeff Ward. I was on a KX80.
Me
dude.
too.
I had to be.
If I asked you who you pretended to be when you were riding around the track near your house by yourself,
Well, Jason Lanham was on
Who
an
is it?
86
Yeah, my
CR80.
dad would have probably said Brad Lackey. Honestly,
Dude, my
my
brother
dad would have
freaked
said that.
out
My
when
dad
I
was
said this,
when I
that
called
he
my
was
dad
on
on the
shit.
way here. He was to the
Oh,
nines.
I used to go through.
He
like,
had a whole list of questions
The
for me,
little
and I
tri-
didn't even think about it. So I was
the
like,
little-
oh, that's awesome.
the little track that I had behind your dad's warehouse, Kevin's dad's warehouse, where they put
Yeah,
the
I
motorcycles
remember,
together.
I remember what that looked like.
Okay, I spun 1,000,000 laps there as Jeff Ward.
It's so funny. I never saw him
coming through the
I
pack.
lived at that dealership. Never saw him.
Yeah, but he's talking about the
I'm not
building.
saying you weren't there. But
Yeah.
I was at Six Flags with my mom.
Coming through the pack like I would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you had all
I'm
these
calling the
visions.
race in my head as I'm coming through the pack, and I usually passed either Hannah or Ricky Johnson last.
Wow.
There was a December of 1985.
Hannah gave me a battle for the run for my money.
Yeah.
Motocross Action cover, December 1985. I might be wrong. I think it's at Washougal. It's kind of like
Washougal.
Panama City.
Panama.
City.
Washougal,
Washington.
Panama.
Ward is following the standard line, or Johnson's following the standard line. Wardy has pulled out there and squared it off and is crossing over Johnson's line. So I had this turn down in the woods with a rounded line and a squared off line.
Dude.
Every time I squared that thing off, I was Jeff Ward cutting under Ricky Johnson. So I can
I love
totally
that.
picture that. But I'm going to say, if it's motocross, it really is Roger. I just think, like, every time I met him, like, he signed a couple of these blue and white Motocross of Nations helmets, and I don't know, 5-time world champ, bad to the bone.
But
There's no wrong answer.
These dudes
there.
always exceed our expectations, though. Brad Lackey right now
Yeah.
is
Dude,
pegging the meter on every
But I
level.
can tell you
right?
this, like obviously I love my dad more than my life, but like when you start talking about things, when we say favorite sandwich for it, I'm a guy that doesn't have a really favorite anything. You know what I
I'm
mean?
the same way.
Like I don't say, oh, I like this better than that. Like
And you don't have some restaurant where, like, oh my God, the food. You know how some people do
like,
that?
Yeah, and I enjoy lots of things. So I don't have a favorite anything. Like you could ask me, like your dad was a hero to me as well, right? Because he owned the Kawasaki dealership where I spent all my time.
Memorizing the prices of Yuri grips.
Barry Higgins would be a sort of a hero to me because
sure.
when I was a
He's
kid,
a legend for sure.
and even through my 20s, and I bought that '94 KTM when I was 24. I bought the 2000 U300 when I was 30, and
The only person on KTM